Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
There we go. A good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thanks to everyone for tuning in on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, watching on YouTube, as well as those who getting us wherever they get their podcasts. Today on the show, Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. Jay Milne is with us as he is every Friday, and buddy of ours, friend of ours, radio broadcaster extraordinaire, Toby Johnston with us here. Toby, how are you?
Yeah, too big of an intro, but thank you.
No.
No, it's nice to see you guys again. Nice to meet
Toby.
Jay.
I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss you seeing your perfect hair. I'm glad it's still not a hair out of place after over a year of not seeing it, Tom.
Thank you.
Good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you too. Welcome to our new station.
Thank you. I'm very happy that you guys started this, and then seeing it grow over a year. I tune in occasionally. Over the past, especially like 8 months, when I don't have to put on pants, I can just watch my friends work. It's great. It's awesome. So congratulations to you guys.
I'm not used to saying your last name. Like, it's just Toby. It's always just like we've always enjoyed it. It's Toby and stuff.
Toby's
And, so that was a weird part for me.
Yeah, no, I thought I was in trouble when you hear my full name.
No, it's exciting. I've been wanting to have Toby on for a while now.
Good.
And I just kept forgetting to text him. So I'm a dick.
Yeah, I'm pretty forgettable though. Normally you're texting Warren, a good buddy of ours as well, and it's normally because he's a Boston Red Sox fan. You're a Yankees
had to
fan.
go there to
Oil
start.
and Water, Jets and Sharks, West Side Story. I went there.
There was also Yoshi and DK. Yoshi, favorite Nintendo character?
Oh, don't.
I'm just curious. Favorite Nintendo character? Do you guys have one?
Like,
No.
what are you? Like, are you
Nintendo
talking
universe.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Okay, do we get this out of the way so you and Toby have a battle? Is this
Toby and
how
I are
it's-
not getting into a battle.
No.
Toby and I never got
okay.
into a battle outside of soccer.
I always pick Yoshi.
Okay.
Luigi.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fair. It's
will-
not Yoshi.
He's not the star. He's just the strong, silent type. Luigi's just a right down the middle choice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toby.
Luigi's actually kind of like a bitch.
Well, that's
What?
Well, it's nice to meet you, Jay.
He is. I mean, if it is true to his portrayal in the Mario Brothers movie,
They did Luigi
Wait, you're
dirty
talking
in
about
that
the
movie.
new movie?
yeah,
Okay.
like he is a giant.
They did him dirty in that movie.
Yeah.
And
You
Well,
can't base
I don't
it
think-
off the most recent movie.
Why not? What other movie has there been?
The
Wasn't it
original
Gazzola?
one?
Yeah.
Well, I never saw that.
There was also the whole video games movies.
Yeah, the video game series. Luigi's nobody.
He's kind of like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. He's big. He doesn't try too hard. He makes some mistakes, but he's really, he could really be angry if he wanted to, but he chooses not to. Actually, that's a bad analogy because Lenny did. If you've read the book, if you were in 11th grade English class.
Didn't they, Lenny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to take care of the rabbits. It's a sad start.
That's a dark twist in that plot.
John Malkovich, Gary Sinise. It's a great film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah.
Now, the issue wasn't between Toby and I. It was between Warren and I because I'm pro Yoshi and Warren was pro DK and how Yoshi's trash and would rip.
DK is Donkey Kong?
Yeah. And he would just trash Yoshi. He would just rip on Yoshi. And I have a Yoshi shirt that I'd wear. I still wear it. And
a nice shirt.
everyone walks around. People, I love Yoshi.
How do you
And
not
Warren
like
can handle
Yoshi?
it. Thank
Warren,
you.
what's going on here?
Thank you.
If he was watching, he's probably writing in all caps in the comment section right now.
I hope he is.
He was part of our nasty club, and I was shipping out his package last year. And at the very top, I printed off a picture of Yoshi.
Okay.
So as soon as he opened that, he just had a picture of Yoshi.
That's mean.
That's what we do to each other. There was a few battles Warren and I have had over the years.
Well, isn't Yoshi the guy that makes the noise like hee hee when you pick him?
You ride him.
Yeah, that's the only reason I choose him because I'm
got the
always playing
eggs.
against my daughters. So
Well, why are they not picking Yoshi?
they're very protective of their characters.
Who do they have?
They
Princess,
have
I'm assuming, is
Princess,
one.
And
Princess
Koopa?
Peach. The Princess Peach is a big one, and Bowser is a big one.
Did not have that on the bingo
Yeah,
card.
and Princess Peach, because it allows you to choose your outfit and choose the specs of your vehicle, and it's always just a giant gong show because they all, how it goes. The younger kid, the youngest daughter always wants to do what the older ones are doing, and it causes quite a rift. So I just try to lighten the mood with the little happy Yoshi,
who also is very good.
I think he's one of the best, most skilled drivers on the track.
He's just in the universe. He's one of the best in Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, the
you want Yoshi.
aerodynamics alone make Yoshi a pretty strong candidate for driver of the year.
It's also if you go to Mario Golf in this.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yoshi's got a nice straight drive.
Yoshi's got a very good skill level with golf.
Just got a pretty good distance. Not the most powerful, but keeps it straight. It's got the accuracy.
Yeah.
That's who you want. And that's why, I don't get, and a lot of we've done, I think we did 2 polls in our time because I would do Bear Sports Hits that won't always be on sports. And we did 2 polls on Twitter. And in the end, both times it was a dominant victory. We did Yoshi versus DK.
Yeah, but you'd always set up the polls. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
but-
like you skewed it. And
No.
and whenever you and Warren would fight about this, I felt like the child watching mom and dad fight. It was awkward. I just had to sit there and pretend nothing was happening and just eat my peas.
Not true.
It was just
I worded those polls very well.
it was damaging watching.
Now
you
I'm going to
guys
have to find
argue.
these polls.
Hey, I wanted to ask you while you're looking for the poll,
Yeah.
what was the vibes like in the post-game show last night?
Very pleasant, very content.
Right.
It was a quiet night. I know it was, it's 6 o'clock in Nashville. They dominate the Preds.
It's Halloween too.
Halloween, people were out and about. I think they watched the show and listened to it later, but yeah, content. We had a good audience live, obviously, but just satisfaction, I would say.
Yeah.
A bit of an atonement for what happened on Monday against Columbus. So it was good. We were able to talk about positives, which was nice. And I ended the show by saying, hey, they're 5-5-1, well ahead of where they were at this point last year, where I think they only had 2 wins at that point.
2-9-1, weren't they?
2-9-1 at the 12-game mark. Yesterday was game number 11, so they're well ahead of that. Dominant performance from Draisaitl. What are you guys giggling about?
Well, Jay just looked
Matt
at me.
was looking at me
Why are you
funny.
looking at me?
I don't know. He was
Peripherals.
gazing in my
Let
eyes.
me finish. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Well, we did mention that. I think it was yesterday or the day before on the Reed Wilkins show that last time McDavid was out, Draisaitl went into badass mode.
For one game, and then they went 1-5.
No, but then the season when McDavid was out with the knee injury, that was a very successful campaign for Draisaitl.
Yes, good point.
And it's kind of like when your leader's out, it's like around here. Okay, this is actually a great way to parallel the two. Is Dustin's been away all week, so everybody else has had to step up in his role for being a whiny, sick baby.
I've enjoyed the Eric
I will
show.
give no sympathy for. I said this to Maddie, like 2 days. Okay, I'll agree with that. I think that's suffice for a sickness, but to drag it out all week and then to drop the hammer of him actually celebrating Halloween last night, I thought that was a little bit aggressive.
Oh, we're getting spicy.
Well, I mean, everybody else around here is like, oh, Dustin, thoughts and prayers, get well.
I stopped the get well soon after day 3.
There was
I can only
a
sing so
group
much
chat
of it.
that I had with Huss, Patty, and Jake where I just let them know that Dusty wasn't going to be here the rest of the week. And all 3 were like, poor guy. Oh, this is awful. And I told them, like, this is disgusting, boys. Like, this is outright and I added like a puke emoji in there. And then Yasher Hernan on the start of his show, oh, poor guy. And I was just mad. I was like, no, not poor guy. He doesn't get poor guy on day 4.
So who's the Draisaitl of Edmonton Sports Talk then? If Dusty is the McDavid, if that is the parallel.
Well, it'd have to be
analogy.
our coup, Matthew Iwanyk.
I guess yes.
He stepped up, kept the lights on around here, kept the programming running.
So was I not producing prior to Dusty's absence?
Oh,
He's
well, there it is.
stoic.
That's-
You're very,
He
very.
does not lack discipline like the big German. And he's very steadfast. And he likes neutral colors.
I would love to be a Leon. I would love to be the Leon of The Office, actually.
I think it's unanimous that you are.
You are.
I would take that one. Over McDavid, I'd take that.
I'd like to be. I would be like the Bouchard or Corey Perry.
Those are pretty different players.
Yeah, I know. So you take whatever. Well, maybe who's the best looking player on the Oilers other than Leon? Henrique? Is Tommy Henrique? I think that's not giving him enough shine.
There's someone there.
No, don't bring that garbage.
So candy corn. That's assault.
We'll just throw a candy corn.
That's an HR
That door doesn't
violation.
close like the. Okay, well, Will's
okay,
just
first of all,
That's how hard he threw
it literally broke. That's how much.
That's how chiseled
Force.
your chest is.
Yeah.
And when it hit your chest, it just.
Okay, I just quickly before we continue on the Oilers discussion, I have found the polls. I did not write the polls. Warren tweeted them out.
Touche. I misremembered.
And the two polls. If you had no other choice in any Mario game, who are you picking? Donkey Kong or Yoshi was the second poll. Yoshi winning 64%.
And he even wrote Donkey Kong first. Because,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The first time, it's time to settle another argument, people. If you had no other choice in any Mario game, who are you picking? Yoshi or Donkey Kong? 71% Yoshi.
That's a resounding Yoshi. Okay.
Exact. And Warren wrote both of them.
Okay. No. I'm sorry.
And he rotated the things there. So Warren is wrong.
I just remember the
Warren
trial.
also was wrong with the Buck Hunter. Just throwing that one out there.
Why? What happened about Buck Hunter? You know I'm a big hunting aficionado. I don't actually hunt, but I host a hunting show on a national television network.
He does. That's the whole plaid shirts, and he's out there.
Yeah.
You actually go out and hunt?
No, I've never touched a bow, but we're going
but-
into season 5 of Bow Zone Live on Wild TV. We
kind
shot
of-
our preview episode on Sunday.
No way.
Possibly free
I was doing
preview
it
and
back
tell
at
us.
TSN too.
But I never knew. You just, it's never saw
Well,
your
I mean,
bullhorns on your truck, nothing like that.
Yeah, no, not yet. No.
You haven't seen the backside where the bull balls are.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cow truck.
VR and Big Uke are both saying that Maddie can be pissy like dry.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah,
That
I'm
is
fully
good.
dry.
Yeah.
Like, well
I'll
done.
fully be dry.
He wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, let's call it that.
But that was a great game last night. Like you said, it was good moods in the at the after show, the post game
Yeah,
show, because it wasn't a 5-4 win. It was a pretty comfortable. Okay, these guys, they look like they got it, and Pickard looked.
That was a
great.
whomping.
It was great. It was wonderful to be on that side of it. I know it's still early in the year, but
Arvidsson got his first goal. Hyman got his first goal. Draisaitl looked alive.
Philp, first point.
Philp first point. Reed Wilkins is in the nasty chat right now. He says, "Tom, do you know if and where Noah Philp played post secondary hockey?"
I believe Keith Gretzky went and scouted him and went to a practice on his own one time and was the one who said, I need to go to a U of A Golden Bears practice at Claire Drake Arena for fun and see if I can harvest some talent. And he did. So the answer to that question is I think he was a Golden Bear at the University of Alberta, if I recall that correctly. Thank you, Reed, for that question.
Derek Ryan also, wasn't he a golden?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm getting points with Reed.
Yes.
Who I'm a big fan of, by the way. Well, I'm glad he came over to you guys.
We are very glad too. And it's just good to remember
glad.
that Keith Gretzky. yeah.
He's been dragging my ass on that show for 34 episodes.
Anyway,
Respectfully.
good story there. Philp getting his first point. Yes, Golden Bear, 15th Golden Bear alum to play in the NHL, which is awesome.
But first time, would it be first time two Bears played for the same team in a game?
That I don't
Gager
know.
and
I would
I were asking
assume
yesterday.
probably. I would assume as much. Like who else? We have Randy Gregg, Brent
Well, Ryan
Severin.
didn't play last night, though.
Derek Ryan
Oh,
did not
right.
play.
Sorry.
yeah.
This was a conversation Gager and I had before the game. So I guess Ryan would have to play
Yeah.
that for that to happen. So.
And Drake Caggiula looked good, making his return. First point as an Oiler since December 29th, 2018.
Wow.
Prior to
What happened
back.
a couple days later?
he got traded for Brandon Manning.
Exactly. That it's trade Oiler fans unanimously loved.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
It did.
That was a great one.
It was a great trade.
It was a highlight of Peter Chiarelli's time,
Yeah.
where I think a lot of people at the time were like, you want to know something? Maybe this guy should keep his job.
that was Chiarelli's Matthias Ekholm trade.
Yeah.
If we have to draw
The
parallels,
reverse.
I think.
It's
Yeah.
like the Wario to the Mario.
yes. Or Waluigi.
Waluigi to
The DK or the Yoshi.
I love how this show is just going to keep going back to that Mario
Yeah.
well.
General references.
It's great. I love it.
That's
Well,
also Warren's not here to defend DK, so it's great.
So, taking full ownership for this, I was trick-or-treating last night. So we were out and about throughout our whole subdivision. I did not watch the game live. I watched the extended highlights after But it was funny going around house to house, and every house had the Oilers game on. So you could say, hey, is it still 3-1? Okay, good. Next house. So that was interesting. But a couple of people in the nasty chat saying that, suggesting maybe Podkolzin had one of his stronger games. Why, Tom? Why did Podkolzin impress last night?
Okay, good question, Jay. On that line with Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Podkolzin, Arvidsson and Draisaitl drove that line. But Podkolzin was a good complementary piece to those two. He forechecked hard. He was in the right areas. He was open for passes, good on cycles. He was finding Arvidsson and Draisaitl open. And then on top of that, he got in on that first goal, which was a great first shift, a great way to set the tone, take the game away, something we've been asking for the Oilers to do, and say, why can't you guys just take a game?
Sure.
They did that last night, and it started with that line, and Podkolzin was an integral part of it. And then the fight. The fight will endear him to the fans. It seems like every time there's a fight for the Oilers in a game, they win for whatever reason. I don't think we're going to get, 68 more fights or 69 more fights from this group, but yeah, he was just good. And like his game isn't, I don't think he's a traditional skilled player. He has skill, but he can muck it up like no one else on that team. And I think he did that yesterday. And the skill he does possess, used it to his advantage, and away they went. So if that gives him confidence, and this line can cook for a couple of weeks here while McDavid's gone, that's good. We're in a good situation.
Well, it was interesting because when those lines were originally released, there was question, and number one question was, what is Podkolzin doing up there? This has been somebody that has been hovering around third, fourth line. But I would say, if you can go up to that line and be a contributor to a 5-point night for that line, I'd say you're going to you'd be hard pressed to remove him from that line next, right away. But this is again, and the Knobloch has made, big decisions and big changes, from last year's playoffs to early this season, that, having the trust in Podkolzin to be there, I'd say for last night's game at least, it sure looked like the right decision.
Yeah, it is. It was. He can moonlight up there.
Podkolzin kind of has that Clean Costin kind of, like the diet Clean Costin version, because Clean was so endearing. Everyone still misses Costin, but I think he has that. He's gritty, he hits, and he can score. We haven't seen it yet this year with Podkolzin, but
I think you're right, Toby, and those comparisons are starting to happen. I think there's like a nickname that they've come up with for Podkolzin I've seen a couple of times, but they have similar traits in some aspects, and then they do differ a little bit. I think Podkolzin skates better than Costin. Podkolzin's fight yesterday was a thing of beauty. The way he hit Lazon with that one punch was very impressive. I think Podkolzin handles the Clean Costin was a better finisher when it came to scoring goals, and I think his puck skills were a little bit better. But there's some areas of Costin's game that were deficient, where Podkolzin's are a little bit more proficient, like the skating. But there are some elements of that, and I like that fans want that back in this team's game, because one of the knocks on them going to the season was they're soft. Well, Podkolzin adds a little sandpaper.
Big U calls him Kirkland Klim.
Kirkland Clan. You know what? Kirkland's signature stuff is actually really good, and it's made by surprisingly high-end manufacturers that Costco gets under their umbrella.
I've
Costco's
seen high school, junior high aged kids, and the reason I know this is because that's it. I'm at tournaments a lot now with my kids, and they're wearing Kirk Clan branded sweatshirts.
Yeah,
it's become kind of a thing.
yeah. Awesome.
Is it like the new Champion?
No, I
how
think Champion has
made
come back.
Champion has come back.
I know.
Back in the 90s, that was the thing in the 90s. We all wore it, but it was not cool
no.
or
The thing in the
anything or
90s
whatever.
was Club Monaco.
Right.
But
No
the
fear.
Champion stuff
No
was there in the
fear.
90s, but no one it wasn't popular cool as much. If
Club Monaco?
No, Champions.
Oh, yeah, that's
It
what
was
I'm saying.
whatever.
Champion was.
But now
it was
it's
around.
But now
I
it's
see what
coming.
you're
It's
saying.
we have Champion sweatshirts on our pop-up store, because now Champions is a big thing. It was the starters jackets that were big in the 90s.
Those were huge. Remember those?
Yeah.
And the starters hats. I've said this before, and people that know. If you took the stitching, like the under embroidery out of the starter star on the back of your helmet or on the back of the hat, and you collected, I don't know, I think it was like 20 of them, and you mailed them to the company, they'd send you a starter hat.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing.
I had a Charlottetown Hornets starter hat.
Yes.
They had Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson and Space Jam.
I had a Georgetown Hoyas starter jacket.
Nice.
Yeah. Don't know how that came about.
Or where it went.
Where it went.
That's a sad.
You had to send in what?
The inside of the star on a starter baseball hat
I want to see if I can find anything about this.
is like the inside liner. You could pull it out. And if you collected enough of them, there was some prize.
There's not enough of those these days. Like
Easter egg kind of things.
I remember with like
Yeah.
KoolAid, there was like you got points on the KoolAid pack, and if you collect enough points, you can get something.
Or like bottle caps, under bottle caps,
Yeah.
where you'd keep
I
the...
missed the bottle cap prizing.
Yeah,
That Pepsi
those are
thing.
great.
When you'd have to grab a knife out or something to
Yeah.
pop it out, and you win, or they just give you something, or
Yeah.
they would just be like, next, please try again.
Even these
The Tim Hortons
Roll up
cups.
the rim.
pricks, they didn't do the roll up the rim thing.
Because you got to get the app now. Everybody
I
has an
know.
app.
And then you
I
click
have
it,
the
and they
app.
simulate it, but it's not the same.
No,
not the
get
same.
it back.
They even plays a dumb sound on there. That crinkle
Yes.
sound. It's just annoying. It's like, no, that's not satisfying.
I want to actually roll up the rim.
Yeah, that's part of the fun because it's greasy because you got coffee and your saliva all over it, and it's just you earn it.
Yeah, you do. That's a good point.
You earn it, but
And then you feel good when you get that donut. Like, look, I want a donut. I want my donut. Look at this thing. And then you rip it off.
I always felt bad for the people who had to like handle those at the till, just like yeah, you got all the people
Thank
spit
you.
and who knows what else on it. It's just a biohazard. But
Oh
hey,
yeah, like COVID killed that. That's where that went.
absolutely.
And the thought of it now is like, because you'd be like, gnawing on the edge of your coffee
like,
cup,
what were we
and then
doing?
ripping it off with your hands, and like, here,
And storing it for the
here,
longest
take my
time.
chewed on piece of coffee cup.
It's like just
and put it in the
brittle-
till.
I just put
With
it
all
in
the money that you're going to hand out to other people.
You put it on the dashboard to dry.
Try just like beef jerky. I gotta wait 2 days before I can take this in.
Duck Dad says popsicle sticks. That was the real currency.
Oh, yes, you had to collect popsicle sticks.
Well, no,
And
some of
they
them
would
had
have things on
prizing
it. I
on
know,
them.
but
Yeah, you get points.
But you can also like, couldn't you like make some sort of weird drawing out of them? You could like certain parts.
Oh,
and
I did not
Yeah.
even know
I
about that.
vaguely remember
You'd have
that.
to stack them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was certain kind. It would like make a shape of. I don't even remember what. I might be talking out of my butt here. I don't remember, but I remember something like that. But points
Yeah.
was definitely a
what
thing.
we do every day.
That's what we do.
True,
for
but
2
yeah,
hours
you
on
guys
the
get
show.
paid to do this. So that's pretty awesome. Congrats on continuing the success model, you guys.
I do want to remind people we do have the EST Flyway to LA presented by the 780 Keyword coming up later this show as well. And since we're talking about merchandise, might as well say the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. It is the High Product Marketing, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, highproductmarketing.com. The pop-up store is open for another week and couple days. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Click on Shop EST. Bunch of different things from shirts to hoodies to hats to beer glasses, all of that. Shop EST is where you can go purchase some EST merchandise. And if you're a Nasty Club member, go into exclusive offers and in there, read it because right in there somewhere is your discount code for the store as well. All
It's
thanks
a nice
to
discount too.
the Hive.
Like that is very nice of you, Matt.
Nice of the company.
Oh no, nice of you.
Oh, that's what Leon does.
All dry.
You kind of have the hair like Leon too.
It's always nice.
I'm going to go now to another game. I'm going to go into the locker room for like the
Do
first
it.
time in years. I'm going to go to Leon and be like, we're twins.
Yeah.
Do it. He likes that.
I know he does.
Yeah.
He
I have a
loves that.
story not fit for.
He
For the
loves
air.
inside jokes
Yeah.
where he's not on the inside.
Doesn't understand. And then being told I'm the same as him.
Right.
I'm as good as you with what I do
Right.
as you do in hockey. I'm more important though, Leon. Nice to meet
security.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clearly.
that'll be your last ever visit to the locker room.
The chat is popping off about, reminiscing about the olden days of Pogs.
Yes.
And Eric always brings up the Pogs, and it's one of those. They need to bring Pogs back.
Yes.
Why?
They're fun.
They were useless.
They're tangible. I
There
have a
was
big bag.
really-
fun to
Yeah,
collect.
but
And then you get the
remember the cases?
slammer, and you go throw the slammer down and stuff.
But did you actually ever play the game Pogs, or did you
little
mostly
bit.
just collect them? Like the game of playing it where you're supposed to trade and keep other people's Pogs was hardly ever played because you're fearful of giving up your collection of pogs.
I got pissed off when I lost pugs.
Yeah. So nobody played the game not nobody, but I don't think the game was played as much as maybe the creators of it had intended, because now people were just coveting and collecting these pogs. True. Do you remember the sleeves that you could get?
Yeah.
I remember those
to store them, and you'd keep your good ones at the bottom.
Yep.
I had a
so that
bag.
they'd never come out.
I had a bag of them.
Yeah.
It was like, what they had in the Midnight Society on Are You Afraid of the Dark, where they pull that out and on the fire. It was like that kind of satchel. But I had a friend, but kids would make up their own rules with pogs.
Sure.
True.
Like any game. I remember you play for slammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But one of my friends, his name was Doug or something in 5th grade. Stupid
Silly
Doug.
name, man.
Stupid Doug. I was still mad at him for this because he had a slammer that had a yin yang symbol on it.
Yeah.
And he just did like a thing over. He's like yin yang, and he like grabbed my slammer and his.
What?
And he's like, "Oh, that's because I got this slammer." And I was like, I believed him. I was like, "Oh, where do I get one of those? That's so stupid." So he was just smarter than me. That's why I'm mad. He's probably a doctor or something now. Doug.
Dr. Doug.
Stupid Doug.
So he just made up a role in the moment.
I think so. In hindsight, that's probably what happened.
Remember, that's, first of all, BS what Doug did to
Thank
you.
I agree.
We should find Doug.
Doug, that is, how dare you? And then secondly, do you remember when slammers, they were thin at first, right? Because it was challenging to get the pogs to flip for you to win them. And then they started getting thicker and thicker. Then they had the finger grooves. And then they brought out the metal slammers. And that was like the trump card. Like, you're just like, boom, I got my metal slammer.
There was the off-market slammers too.
What were we
The
talking
black
about?
market slammers that would come out.
Are you talking about that one? The saw?
Well, yeah.
I remember the saw.
yeah.
It would wreck your pogs.
That's not a regulation slammer.
This
Yeah.
not a
we
regular.
could buy 40 random pogs for $20, including shipping on eBay
Sick.
right now.
No, they play that in the underground where they
Let's
had
bring
knife
back
fights
pogs.
and things like that.
That's what I'm saying. We could buy a lot of 500 of them for $50.
Well, there was like one of the biggest radio personalities in Edmonton at that point was Chad the Pog Martin
That's right.
down at Power 92.
I remember that.
Oh, wow. That's way back.
Oh, we could get the Slaminator.
What is that?
Sealed.
That's black
Is it a
market.
machine that
Yeah,
does it
that's
for you?
for sure.
It's
dark.
full Slaminator.
That's dark web.
Yeah,
Does it have a
that's
yin
dark
yang
web.
symbol on
That's
it?
$30 alone. I'll see if I can find a yin yang pog for you.
No, it's a slammer. It was a slammer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
This was the recess activity. Forget soccer or anything like that. We were pogging it up.
And had like those long
That one?
wizard toques, those 3-foot long toques.
Yes.
Remember those?
I
you could
remember
use
those.
as a neck
One of
warmer.
these ones.
And then the
Yeah.
kids would be playing that game where the sticks where they go
Devil,
Devil
sticks.
sticks.
devil sticks.
Yeah, I remember those.
Kate, we could get a clear one slammer for
Jimbo says I still
$40.
have the slammer my dad machined for me from a brass blank.
So Jimbo was cleaning up with that thing because it was a metal
Oh, yeah.
slammer, and it was like,
Well, once parents got involved and your dad was
Yeah.
a machinist or worked on
you're like,
these pogs were
how
getting out of
heavy do you
hand.
need
3-inch
this thing
cold
to be?
roll. Here
Yeah.
you go, son. And then you could break kids' fingers if they didn't want to play with you.
Oh my goodness.
Marbles are in the nasty chat too a little bit right now.
Those were fun.
Like,
Yeah, they were.
like
Playing
actual
marbles.
playing marbles
Yeah.
where you
You had to flick them.
flick it with
I
your
forgot
thumb, the
game,
tip of your
how you had
thumb.
to play.
You're trying to remember you get the ones that looked like the galaxy, or
Right.
like, and then but they would break easier.
yeah.
and they'd blow up.
And then you'd have the thicker ones, like the bigger marble.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was,
marbles were fun.
marbles was fun. I suppose it is a game. I just have no idea how to play it.
You just throw them.
Anyone does, yeah.
Right.
I think people just make it up as they go
But
along.
once again, you would not dare use your most coveted marbles.
No, I'd use
There
the
were a
crappy
few in
ones.
there that just the colors just worked for you, and you kept in the bag.
Did some kids ever play jackpot, or maybe they had a different name for it, where they would take some of their marbles, like one at a time, and they would just heave it in the air, and you play like 500 alive. You know, it's kind of like
Yeah.
that, but if you caught it, you got to keep the marble.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we play that with like a baseball and a football too.
Right, but they would do it with marbles.
Oh,
So, like, kids were hurt all the time in recess. It was the 90s. It was fine, right?
that was good.
But you got to keep marbles.
Good character building.
That's, yeah, I guess. Don't call us soft
No, we always get ripped for that.
with our devil
90s
sticks.
aren't. My buddy just texted me. One of our other buddies worked for Alta Steel, and his dad cut him, or his dad worked for there, and he cut him a slammer out of steel.
Yeah.
Just a giant chunk. Not even fair.
You couldn't bring that into school now.
That's not fair.
See, but it did happen. Like everybody knows about the off-market
Yeah.
slammers.
It wouldn't work now because there'd be a lot of crying.
Okay, well there would be. There was crying back then too.
Yeah, but
Obviously,
you'd
the
have to deal
softer
with it.
kids. Yeah.
Nowadays, it would have to be like, make sure everything's fair.
Did you guys ever play Knuckles?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's
on the
awful.
table?
Where you
with the
had
quarter?
to
Just like
you had to shoot the quarter at
Yes.
your knuckles,
Yeah,
and
that
whoever
hurt.
broke blood first was lost.
Or quit. Or that
Quit.
Yeah.
Didn't you have
You
to? And then
like
you'd have
whip
to,
it.
or was that football where you'd have to shoot it through?
That's football. That was
yeah,
table
but-
football.
But were they not related in some
Oh,
form?
it's the same motion. Like you would try to
But
like.
the knuckles one, you'd put it, press
You-
into the table and
Fling
flick
it.
it at people's
And go
knuckles.
yeah,
against
but it's
it.
like you're just trying to like almost like flick
And
them.
you'd get the odd
you
guy with like
down
the
pressure.
yeah,
very-
like, but you'd go like that.
nimble thumb, or that could really that almost raise the puck, almost raise the quarter,
Yeah.
and come into hot, real.
Get one
Real
right there.
gashers.
Yeah.
These were the first tablet games. These were primitive cave art like tablet, games we would use
Yeah.
to pass the time before tablets or things like that. When their parents would just send us outside to go play, come back when the street lights are on because they were sick of us too. Mm-hmm. That was
You know what really changed the game? Snake on the Nokia phone.
oh right.
That's where the tablet / getting stuck in the screen. That's where it really started to happen.
There was I don't know if it happened for you guys, but the T83 calculators and stuff.
Yeah.
you could start adding games onto it.
I
at
had the
one
games.
point.
Snake.
And there were some others you could add.
Yeah.
There was
Snake
a,
was the game.
it was, but there was other games you could add to
There was
that.
like a racing game on there and a bunch of other stuff. Like
and
a
if the
falling
teacher
one.
fully reset it, you'd have to re-add them to it. That was the start of.
Was that the Texas Instrument calculator that
Yeah.
cost
Yeah.
like $200
Yeah.
that you needed for 6th grade for like
Yeah.
one semester?
What was
Still
it?
have one.
Graphing calendar.
Yeah.
Calculator. You can actually put in inputs and variables, and it would graph it for
Yeah.
you.
Guess who put in inputs and variables incorrectly about 90% of the time? This guy.
You could get Mario for it. What other games could we get here? Super Smash Brothers,
Pong.
Gemini,
Like I didn't know
like a
about
shooter game,
I didn't know there was these kind of like
Advanced
really good
Racer.
video
I remember the
games.
Advanced Racer one.
Wow.
And teacher would be like, what are you
Minesweeper?
doing? I'm like, oh, just calculating something.
Oh, Block
yeah.
Dude. I put Block Dude on there a lot. You had to move blocks to get this guy out of there, but you could only like move blocks one spot or something. That one was a fun one. Yeah, no, there's some pretty decent games that you could have got for that. There's bowling. And then, yeah, when the teacher would shut it down, like it would restart it, you'd have to go and re-add them all. That was a tough day.
Can I ask you something about when you went trick-or-treating last night?
Yeah.
First of all, what did you go as? And did you see a lot of other people out? Because I've seen all over, like there was not, it seemed like a lot of areas didn't get a lot of kids yesterday.
Well, I went dressed as a sports broadcaster,
Nice.
Nice.
and everybody guessed it right off the bat.
Your
No,
microphone.
so we do it a little like because we're out on an acreage, so we're in a subdivision of maybe 20 to 30 houses. I don't know exactly how many, but we hook up the trailer to the quad. We've got like a lawn, like a garden trailer, and put blankets down and chairs, and we just meet up with the other neighbors, and we do a convoy around the neighborhood. We had about four vehicles at one point, and there was side by sides and quads, and everybody's hopping in and out at houses. So when we showed up, we rolled in like hot, like,
Heavy.
It was like, oh my god, where are all these kids coming? But it's transitioning from an older neighborhood to a younger neighborhood. So the older folks that are still there are just so ecstatic when kids show up, because on acreages to begin with, it's hit and miss, and half the houses the lights are off because they don't want you coming in anyways. So, but it was a great night. Like the sacks of candy that they came home with was impressive. Yeah, I had beers given to us at 2 stops.
That's my kind of
So
Halloween.
it was.
I got to do that next
It
year.
was awesome. My wife and my mother-in-law were in the back of the trailer holding down the kids, making sure, and they had their beverages, and it was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great night, and we did see a lot of other people. So yeah, it was a longer night than normal, but the kids are older now, so they dress somewhat appropriate, and we had the hot pads going, and we just gave her.
Couple beers for Dad to warm up.
Danny
Oh yeah,
drinks,
Daddy was driving responsibly.
as one does.
But it was a great night. Yeah, it was really good. I ran into the new neighbor in the somebody just moved into the neighborhood. So what a great opportunity to go meet them.
Yeah, with a beer.
And pulled up to their house and, hey, you know, we're down the road. It's nice to meet you. And I'm like, I know you. This guy, he's probably mid-60s. And my wife's just like, how do you know this guy? Like, what are the odds here? So we started talking, and he used to own a company called The Battery Doctor. There's a place on the south side that will refurbish and resell batteries. They'll recondition them. And you can get batteries there for half the price of a new battery. So it was right by our furniture store. So whenever we needed a battery for anything work-related, we'd go to The Battery Doctor. And I recognized him from there because he said, well, a lot of people know me from The Battery Doctor. I used to own that. I'm like, there it is. So now I've got The Battery Doctor living in my
Nice.
neighborhood.
That's awesome.
I'm like, I'm bringing my batteries to you. He's like, sure, I can still do it.
Perfect.
So it was a very good night.
Nice.
Yeah, to say the least. I don't know if you have kids or what the situation is, or
I had 6 kids total.
6?
6, and they all came at once. And the doorbell rang, and from when the doorbell rang, the time it took me to get up, go to the door, give out the candy, it was 1-0 Oilers. I came back, it was 2-1 Oilers. It was 2 minutes of time it took me to give out this candy. In their recycled booze bags, I'm dropping my peanut-free treats in there. I'm glad I got a lot of Pringles left over. But 6 kids all night, 1 shot.
Wow.
Mind you, I turned the light off at 6 o'clock because the game was starting, so maybe that had something to do
Oh,
with
yeah,
it. But
there's
Yeah,
not a lot.
that'll do
That's,
it.
that has a lot to do with it.
no, I don't know. No, kids are adventurous these days, right?
No, they're not.
No, okay.
No, my brother's place, it didn't get going until a little after 6.
It worked.
150.
Good.
150.
I counted 150.
Were you there with him?
I was giving out the candy.
Oh, because
I let them everyone go
took
and
your
walk.
niece out.
I brought a lot. My family was like, that's a lot of candy because I brought extra bags. I was like, no, it's not. I give out big handfuls. This year I'm giving out big handfuls. Even when I was putting in the kids' bags, even some of those kids were like, wow, that's a big handful. I was like, yeah, you're going to love this house. Like, I wanted, it's a day for kids. Ran out of the candy. That's why I shut off the lights. Probably could have done some more. I was just very generous with the candy. So next year I need to buy even more candy.
Yeah,
I need to be ready for more.
Well, we leave
Dentists
too,
love
so
you.
we just leave the bowl and
No.
say, "Hey,
Hate that.
can
Well,
you,
but you're not there. I
can
understand
you
that.
Be respectful." And we do the big candy bars, full size,
wow.
and like bags of gummies,
Oh,
and
gummies are good.
all the big chocolate bars were gone.
So now, what's the chance that was one group that came and
It
took
was our
most of
group
them?
because we obviously we're from there, but the other part of the convoy was not. So they came through and raided everything. It was great. I mean, I don't want this stuff sitting around either.
No, but like leaving the bowl, you're worried that there's just that one group that comes
We've
and they
done it
dump
for several
all?
years. Hey,
that's
if you
the
did,
fear.
good for you. Go for it. I could care less.
Yeah, but
just
the
get the
people
candy
after.
out of my house.
It's opportunism. It's a
You
crime
could
of
not
opportunity.
care less.
I could not care less.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I got
Tommy.
you.
I'm bad. For
You guys
That's
talked
actually
about that on
become
the
a
show.
thing now. Like it's now proper to say I could care less. Because it's now
So
been enacted. It's just because we've done it wrong for so much in North America.
Oh,
that now it's kind of, it's
no.
like what is the
That's-
there's a
that's
couple
like-
words.
Irregardless.
I think that one
Irregardless.
like it's now
Yeah.
like just accepted that when you say I could care less, it is accurate, even though what you have to be saying is I couldn't care
What
less.
did you call it? We're appeasing stupidity.
Yes.
You had
We placate to stupid.
placate to stupid. That's
In
like
North America, we placate to stupid.
here's the
I
one
believe
that gets me in Berta. I love my province. I love my hometown. This is God's country. But we need to stop saying I seen.
Oh gosh.
That is not proper English.
I seen a geese. No,
yeah,
you saw
a goose.
Are we going down this road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we opening this can of worms?
Yeah, it's so irritating. You did not seen. You saw.
Are we going grammar
I have
hour?
seen.
Hender's
or
Pancakes
I
wants
saw.
grammar hour.
What am I getting called out
Oh
for?
my goodness.
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. Good.
My all-time most annoying mispronunciation is when people say supposedly.
Yeah, that's wrong.
See, I don't know who says that.
More people than you think.
Supposedly.
With a B instead of a D.
Supposedly.
So supposedly.
Instead of supposedly.
Supposedly.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah. Stop it.
And I did work with a salesman that worked with us for 15 years that said it supposedly.
The word isn't supposed.
Spell it.
Supposed.
Supposedly.
I actually had another salesman that said instead of saying, like when you're measuring height of a table or of a nightstand, he would say height.
The height.
It's not asphalt. It's asphalt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is yes.
There's no ash. It's asphalt.
Yeah, and it's not.
I think I'm wrong in that one. I'll
Kilometers,
I say,
not
I think I say
kilometers.
asphalt at times.
It's important to enunciate.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's what we're getting at.
Yes.
And then when I was living abroad in another land in the U.S., I know you made fun of me saying the Oklahoma thing earlier this week. I would watch the news from back home, and oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
oh for sure.
Did you live in Oklahoma?
Yeah,
Okay.
but now
when you
they
say abroad, I'm
they-
thinking like Paris.
they
or
spoke funny. Yeah,
something cultural.
I know. I was
Down-
mocking myself.
down in
Oklahoma
Tornado-
City.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
in Tornado
yes.
Alley, just
And
hanging on.
I'm there living there with Joe Dirt going, this is gonna ruin me. No slaves shooting my guns, making love to my wife Betsy on weekends.
Joe
Bud Light.
Exotic,
Yeah.
Bud Light.
But I'm getting so acclimated to that, and then I'll be like, let's see what's going on back home, and I'd be like, oh yeah, for sure, and I'm like,
seen it.
oh, Berta, stop it, I seen.
Oh,
No, you saw. Rant over.
but that's good. I didn't know you lived abroad in Oklahoma. That's like God's country for tailgating. And barbecue and things like that. I
Yeah,
would love to
well,
go to Oklahoma.
I would-
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trashing it.
I would say probably God's brother-in-law's country.
Okay, yeah.
It's like
second
you want
cousin.
to go to Texas. That's God's country.
You can't get to Texas. You got to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
those
yeah.
who can't
Yeah.
teach gym
It's like
type
Saskatchewan,
thing. Those who
Alberta,
can't do
yeah.
teach. Those who can't go to Texas, you go to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
I don't
brother.
think God had a brother-in-law.
I know. I'm just.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess he could create one.
He could create.
True.
Well, there's no. We don't know that.
We don't.
We
I
don't
just
know
said I don't
anything about
think-
God's family. Like if there's any like brothers or sisters.
Yeah, do you just do all this out of spite?
We heard about his
I'm
son,
going to make
but
my
we
own
didn't hear
family.
about
I'm
the-
sick of you. I'm going to create a whole new world. I hate you guys.
We have the Father,
Anyway.
the Son, and this and this brother-in-law. That is the
Kinda
Holy
just showed
Trinity.
up. Yeah.
Just on God's couch.
Yeah.
Just, oh, I'm getting a new job here.
But honestly, take today and notice how many times you hear, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a twang though, the way you say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh,
It's kind of like Bobby's World's mom.
there's a bit of that North
No,
Dakota,
they're
South
then
Dakota, Minnesota. in there.
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this in Oil Stream today. You're asking for it. I guarantee I'm going to set the over under 2.5 nasty chat or Paris Jewelers inbox messages coming that it can be. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Oilers win.
more than okay with that.
They're coming.
Bring it
'Cause
on.
You've set that out there.
Bring it on.
Is there anything else, Jay, that you needed to let off your chest? Because you were very excited to get into Grammar Hour here.
Well, it's
Or was
just,
that
it can,
the big
it can
one?
snowball. It can get out of control. And we've had Grammar Hour. I think when Reed was on, prior to him actually working here, we had a Grammar Hour, and Reed's very proper with his grammar.
He actually called me out on something that I didn't even do once.
What?
Which
He said the Estes shouldn't have an apostrophe. I was like, it doesn't. And he's like, oh, I thought there was an email once. And I was like, well, if it was, it would somebody else. It doesn't. And I showed him my stuff. He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I remember that.
He was
It
calling me out on the Estes. And I was like, no,
False
I do not
accusations.
have that. I even grabbed the trophy. I'm like, there's no apostrophe. I didn't do it with the apostrophe. Reed coming at me. Coming at Leon. How dare he? Who does he think he is? McDavid?
Did you guys see the catch last night?
I did.
the catch,
Well, I
yes,
saw,
you tweeted about it.
The release.
The Josh Wilson.
What a game.
Holy smokes.
I
That
won't get
might
it
be,
for you.
The Odell Beckham Jr. catch was superb.
right.
This one might be better.
That one-handed grab. Where,
Where he like stretched way back. This one, and to have him
yeah, I did
look
see that.
exactly like the MJ logo making that catch. Like Nike's going to be all up in that guy's business for the next few months.
As they should.
Yeah.
Nike's into football, and
He's out.
Jordans are on football.
I just
cleats
saw
and
that
stuff
once.
like
He's
that.
out.
They,
One
no, they
foot in.
ruled it a
elbow.
catch.
No way.
Yes, because he got the same foot down twice.
Oh, okay.
It was very, very acrobatic.
It happened really fast. I see why being an official is
Garrett
quite
Wilson,
difficult.
sorry.
Yeah,
What did I say?
think
Josh Wilson?
Garrett Wilson.
Sorry,
Yeah, you
yeah.
said Josh. I think the ref first ruled him out.
He did.
Yeah.
I am bad with Wilson's. I've screwed up
Yeah. Yeah, he's out of bounds. So you're just like
called-
a ref. You could be a ref in the National Football League, Toby.
glasses
You got
checked.
it just as well as the ref did in the moment.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what I've done. I've called Geno Lewis, Geno Wilson, and these Wilson names really screw with me.
Zach Wilson.
It's just bad.
Wilson the neighbor.
Wilson the football.
Wilson the football.
Wilson
Wilson the
the
volleyball.
volleyball. Thank you.
Wilson's all over the place.
When I think of Wilson and sporting goods, I think volleyball.
George Wilson from Dennis the Menace.
Yes.
Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau, yeah. Tastes like paint. We all know that. That's a classic.
That was a great Dennis the Menace movie.
Oh, Christopher Lloyd
Yeah.
playing the vagabond.
The vagabond who loved beans.
Yes. Apple Gunther.
That
the
Gun-
cross-eyed kid.
And he goes, yep.
Who was Dennis?
I don't know. He was good. I don't think he ever became anything after that. Did he?
I don't know if
the
he was
actor
like
that played Dennis?
One and done, like Anakin Skywalker, the young Anakin, kind of like one and
Jake Lloyd. I watched the thing on him the other day. He was pretty messed up after that. He needed.
Why?
He was diagnosed like schizophrenic and was
From the
heavily
movie?
medicated. They said it didn't help, but they also said his family lineage had a history of schizophrenia in it. But
way.
yeah,
Wow.
he was in a movie in 2001. That was his last thing. He retired from acting, and he needed a lot of therapy apparently.
Well, at least he could afford it.
Are we
Yeah.
talking the 93 Dennis the Menace?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
Dennis
Wilson.
was Mason Gamble.
I thought he was great.
That's a good name.
He, according to Wikipedia, his occupation is actor and marine biologist.
He's Costanza.
That's what it says. He's as of 2016, he was a doctoral candidate in environmental science and engineering at the Institute of Environment and Sustainability at UCLA.
Look at that hyperactive kid coming through,
All right.
channeling that ADHD.
He played a sidekick in Wes Anderson's film Rushmore.
Oh, with Bill Murray. Yeah,
Yes.
no way.
He was nominated for Young Artist Award for Best Performance in a Feature Film Supporting Young Actor in that movie. So he's done a few other things. He was on an episode of ER. In 2006, he was on an episode of CSI Miami.
I love that show, honestly.
Well, go watch episode Rio because you could watch him in that episode.
Okay. That was
Doesn't have a lot on his thing. That was his first movie role. Oh, that was his first role ever, Dennis the Menace.
he was great. Great energy. Mr. Wilson.
Just a nice, good young
Nice
kid.
kid. His mom was Leah Thomas.
Oh, that's right.
I loved her.
Marty McFly's mom.
Yeah. Marty McFly's mom. And her daughter is Zoe Dutch.
Deschanel or whatever.
No,
her-
Dutch.
Zoe Dutch. Oh, I don't know. Who that.
One of my favorite actresses.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Is that because she's a good actor, Tom?
That's right. And she's a rocket.
she's so talented.
She's so talented.
She's very. She looks very talented.
Yes, thank you.
Very nice.
What has she been in?
Lots. She's very.
The Sweet Life on Deck.
She's in
Disney
quite a bit.
Channel's The Sweet Life on Deck.
No, she's in a lot of things.
CW's Ringer.
She was okay. If you've seen Zombieland 2,
I've seen that.
don't you need a timeout.
Oh, she's Madison in Zombieland.
Yeah.
Double Tap.
Sorry.
She's great.
Solidarity.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
That was a
So
layup.
Eric and I were talking actually about how our commissioner, Quinn, has not made a ruling.
Yeah. What the hell?
We've
yeah.
asked.
So we did we do EST. Remember? Did you remember the Nielsen show? Yeah, the Nielsen show drafts we did.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we brought them here.
As you
And-
would.
Yeah, and I'm no longer commissioner because I resigned because these boys were too.
Oh, he threw a
gutless
hissy fit, no
to fire
surprise.
me. But so we had a draft of scary things last week, or no, this week, Monday,
Monday.
and it was a dead tie on Twitter, to the decimal point, 32.6,
32.6.
32.6, and we were trying to figure out who wins.
So Eric and I tied.
So what were you and Eric? Okay, so you and Eric were talking.
We would accept, and more so me because I've never won any of them. He's never won here either.
He's not one here.
But co-champions would be accepted.
You'd want your first one to be shared.
Matt, I could care less.
A win's
Couldn't
a win.
care less. A win's a win.
Yeah, but it's
It's on the champ.
but you also as Eric's the champ.
Well, see, I have
You're
a
both the
different.
champ.
I have a different opinion.
I
On
might talk more about
Because-
Eric's win.
Eric did go out of his way to make his team public and curry some favor from Justice for LTE fans. which did bring him up considerably at the end. I was ahead, and in the waiting hours, he caught up. So I know in my heart that I didn't sabotage any of the draft. You know, the gentleman's agreement we all have not to, because typically Dustin's in these drafts, and Dustin has 50,000 followers on Twitter. If he was to name his team, well, there's a lot of pro Dusty. There's a lot of people that like Dusty.
It's a mistrial.
I mean, we were busting his balls about being sick, but we all love the guy. He's a big teddy bear. So people would vote for him. So we said, we can't do that. So Eric muddied the waters late in the game and allowed him to catch up. So I still feel like I am the true champ. That's why I'm okay sharing it.
But it's not your choice.
It's commissioner's choice.
And why is the commission not made a ruling?
I don't know.
Have you guys
we've
texted her
asked.
asking?
We've asked.
And she has not responded.
So what was the tie between the two scary things? I go on Twitter occasionally.
What do you mean, what was the tie?
What was the tie between like the win? You guys are deadlocked to the decimal point.
It was 32.6% versus 32.6%.
But what were the things? Like what were they?
Well, just the scary draft the scary things.
Oh,
so
okay.
you just
So
put
it was
the
the
forward lists.
It wasn't one thing.
Yeah, no, it was the
a
forward
list.
list.
Okay.
So Eric and Jay's tied at 32.6 in the
lists
vote.
did, okay.
Yeah, Tommy's list came last, and Trev, who drafted for Dusty.
Why you gotta throw in Tommy's game?
Well, I'm going through them all.
He's
Because that
three-time
was three-time
champ.
defending
He was
champ.
the three-time champ
yeah.
coming into this.
Which,
Crabs in a bucket.
once again, barely beat me.
Don't
If you
go
look
barely
at my
beat me.
percentage,
Don't go barely
If you
beat
look
me.
at my percentages here, I'm by far and away the best, most consistent drafter.
You're playing the analytics card
Yeah.
right now, and that can
You've
take
been
a
a
hike.
consistent
My
drafter,
Corsi in this draft is off the
Yeah.
chart.
but you're not winning.
I did win.
I don't know. Have you?
Well, see,
At
Tom
this
said
moment,
on
Tom
Wednesday,
is still the champion.
Do we? No, he's not.
Until
Yeah, until
someone is
someone's
awarded a
crowned.
belt or someone is awarded a title,
Okay.
the reigning defending champ is Tommy.
Do we have? Tom said on Wednesday morning at 9:44. Do we have a ruling on the tie?
No response.
Quinn says, does it not just live as a tie, or do we have a 2-hour showdown vote for fun? Dustin said, I would think it lives on as the first tie ever.
It's not up to Dusty.
He didn't say it was up to
I
him.
know, but I'm just
we
saying.
still
what's
don't
the
have the next
what's
text.
the commish now ruling here?
See, this is why you need a Matthew Iwanyk, your dry
Thank you, sir.
as a commissioner because
not
he makes
defend
those
him.
hard-nosed decisions.
Oh my
Do not,
God.
He does.
Toby. You need to leave.
Toby.
Really?
Toby.
I invited
I'm
him here. He's allowed to stay.
Oh, that is kind of
Good
no.
thing
That
it's not
does
a
kind
draft.
of yeah. Now it seemed kind of a bit of ass kissery here. I apologize.
See how it works.
I see. I do remember you getting kind of annoying with some of these drafts back when
Sure.
we worked together.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Toby.
But I'm just because you're a stickler for the rules.
And I would have a role in place by now.
I asked right now, I said, Commish, is this official? Is this a tie?
Well, and like, who's the winner? Like,
Me.
don't ask her. Is this like who? Get her to declare who the winner is.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Who
that?
is the champ?
There was a heartwarming moment at I can't remember which Olympic Games. I don't remember any of the names, but I swear this happened. The guy
is.
said, "Can we both have a gold medal?" And they're like, "Yeah." So they're like, "Let's do it." And it was the happiest moment of both their lives.
2021 Tokyo Olympics. It was I think pole vaulting or no high jump, an Italian and Qatarian. They were gonna go one more jump, and then they're like, "Well, could we just both have it?" And it's like, "Yeah." And then they both were super excited.
So that's fine.
That's
Co-champions,
beautiful.
Both champions.
both
What a
bests.
heartwarming moment. Eric and I already
It's-
said this morning, he said we're going out for celebratory pedicures next week to celebrate
I
together.
just think
like two champs hanging out. Just two hams.
You don't-
Two champs rubbing shoulders.
your
you
feet
only could be at the Olympics once every 4 years. Well, actually, it happened this year too. I can't remember which event. There was an American going up against someone else, and the other person said, "Do you want to split?" And the American's like, "Nope." And the American lost. The other person won gold. The American won silver, which I actually don't mind because it was like, hey, you want to shoot your shot? You want to be the champ? Go be the champ. And you didn't win it. If you want to be the champ, go earn it. Don't tie it.
I am the champ.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
The
Technically,
commission
I am
hasn't said
still.
that.
So
I have the,
The commission
highest
hasn't
vote.
said that.
I have the highest number in the vote. I'm the
commission
champ.
nobody
hasn't
has
said that.
declared you. I'm still reigning champ.
No one has lifted the arm up and went champion or anything like that.
I have a belt.
You guys can shove it up your you know what's because I don't care what you think,
Armpits?
particularly you in this
You're getting spicy.
I guess room. You are just trying to scratch, poke the bear.
Hey, Sean Bell, he was the one that was saying Tommy's still the champ.
my boy.
You don't give away a title like in wrestling. If there's a DQ, or whatever, like the belt has to be awarded to someone. There has to be 3 count.
Yeah.
Was there a 3 count in this?
No.
I don't believe there was.
Yeah.
But also gold medals can be shared as well. Did the commissioner say it was a tie?
Commissioner has not ruled.
Oh, yes.
Quinn
Sorry.
Phillips has not.
She
ruled.
did.
been
She
here the
said,
whole
doesn't
time,
it
I
go
swear.
down as a
That-
tie?
That's not
That's
a
a
ruling. That's a
question.
question.
That's
It was a
question.
question.
As a commissioner, you don't ask a question.
As a quasi English class happening today on the Hangout, that is not a ruling. That is a question. I seen it.
Maybe it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Hey, idiots! Doesn't that
Isn't
just
this
mean
just a tie?
Isn't it just a tie?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
That's
it's hard
the
to
problem with
retain
not
texting.
ruling.
Yes.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I just think that there needs to be the closure on this. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe it's gone this long that there hasn't been, like, how there wasn't a ruling on
From
Tuesday
a guy
or
that
Wednesday.
doesn't care about the draft.
No, but
Sure
he
seems
cares
like you
deeply.
This
care.
happens
He's
on my
scarred.
show. This happens on my show.
It is his show.
This is how
It's
he.
your show,
It's his
actually.
show.
Co-show.
This is how he.
You're
uses-
co-champs of this show.
I'm the Robin on
We're the
this
both
show.
of this, and it's just when this happens, I would like to be able to come on here and say this is who the winner is. We still don't know.
That's
Yeah.
We
correct.
don't take this long
I
to
will
announce
stand
who the
with
winner
my
is.
Batman on this.
Welderdarity.
You're the dry title of the show. He's the dry title of the station.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good, Toby.
This is
Yes.
how Matt, he will slowly plant the seeds of dissent for your commissioner. This
Yeah.
is a long game he's playing.
He's
I know.
had a couple of shots.
And then
Not a lot of
pretty soon,
people
like,
that know me
what?
better than Toby.
Someone needs to make some real hard nose. I'm just going to be the jerk, be the enemy for these decisions. Everyone will be like, well, Matt has no problem making those decisions. So eventually, watch this time next year, Matt will have usurped the commissioner throne.
I
for
will say
these.
this: I will never come back as commissioner of the
Now
draft.
you try
Liar.
hard to get now.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
even want it. And then,
Toby's
if you
got you.
insist, okay.
Toby reads you like a book.
It's the long. He's just the long game. He's a general with this stuff.
Yeah.
He's mind freak.
First, you were like on my side with things, and now you've turned on
Nah,
me.
'cause now I
Toby,
see
now
it.
you need to leave. Now you're done.
Did you guys change your minds?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he has to leave.
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm kidding. Yes. Toby
I
can
called
stay.
you the dry side of the show.
I know, Toby. That's a huge confidence boost. Thank you.
When we would get into our arguments on Bear Sports, we had a lot of fun with those.
It was great.
I would just call these boys out for not being Canadian as my argument.
He just went full politician.
Yeah, we did. We like. I'd want to talk like I just throw out a random tennis thing, and they want to talk Oilers. I'm like, what? You're not Canadian?
Because the Dennis Shamalama Ding Dong's playing really well today. He
That
winning
is his
14
name.
love or whatever soccer or tennis is. Athletic sport, don't get me wrong, but then let's talk soccer.
And they're like, oh, there's Board Battle of Alberta, and I'm just like, oh, you hate Canada?
he would do it, and he's so good at it. Like I see a politician future. Not a liked one, but a politician's future.
Yeah. Stirring it up.
This is the EST Hangout live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio. YouTube is wherever you get your podcast. Toby, Matt, Tommy, Jay with you here. If she does make a ruling, please pass that along and let us, at some point, throw that out there so we can officially declare it on EST. At some point this week, we got to declare it.
Until
I would
then,
like
I'm
to think.
champion.
You can take it.
You don't even want it anymore?
No, I've had it long enough. It's actually quite unbecoming.
You have not even had it.
You should print that question mark. Isn't it just a tie then? You should print that out and just put it on the belt.
Well, actually, that gives me an even better idea, Toby. I'm gonna, when my Glue Crew apparel arrives from the EST pop-up store, I'm gonna go get it embroidered, EST draft champ, and then every time I win, I'm
Just
gonna have
keep-
another tick
You're gonna do
embroidered
tick?
on,
Perfect.
or like
I was going to say, George, you do like, because you don't do years, but you do scary things.
right.
Mark those
Yes,
down.
I can do that. Just because I think I'm gonna go on a heater.
Dare to dream, Arnold. Dare to
champ.
dream.
If there's anyone primed for a heater, it is Jay. He has not come in lower than second in 7 drafts. No,
Always the bridesmaid.
6
huh?
drafts.
Yeah,
6 drafts.
It's tough, but I finally got over the hump.
You think?
Kinda.
With a tie?
Hey, Tom. Like I said,
Yeah, you haven't outright
take
won
it.
it.
I'll
You
take
haven't
it.
you haven't beaten 3 people.
I'll take anything.
Yeah, but you haven't beaten 3 people.
I'll
in a
take
draft.
5. I'll
winning.
take asterisks.
Asterisk.
Asterisks. Asterisks.
That's the plural.
Maybe I want pluralized asterisks.
That's kind of like a Detroit Red Wings 90s, 2000s like consistent run in
Yes.
the postseason. You know, that's like you don't always win it, but
You're in the mix.
you get there. You know, you're not to be trifled with.
Well, I'm not like Tom. borderline relegation status.
It was borderline relegation.
Because that is the
It was
rule.
bad.
If you're under 10%, you're relegated from the draft, and Matthew Iwanyk takes your space.
The burden of being a champion got to me this week. It got to me.
And I don't want to be in this.
No.
I don't know.
But he
I
actually
don't.
does.
No, you just want to make the rules for people who do get it in.
I don't. I like. We have. That's the one thing I would like to bring up with the commish is that when she made that declaration that if someone gets relegated, I get put in. We weren't an expanded staff. We have expanded.
Oh, you're not getting out of that. But here's what I would suggest.
I think Reed would like to be in. I think Trev would like a chance to draft on his own. I think they should be more worthy of coming in before someone that doesn't want to do it.
The fact that you don't want to do it makes you much more of a worthy candidate.
See, that's what he does. But Matthew, I've called him before.
'Cause you guys-
like I've said before, you're like the Randall from Recess.
Yeah.
You don't want to play with the kids.
Yeah.
You just want to get them in trouble and want to watch stoke the flames.
And you walk around like this.
and just Miss Grimshaw.
Hey, what are you doing?
Someone was running in the hallway today.
Teacher.
This
I
is
seen it.
Oh, well done, Toby.
Sorry, it's been too long. I haven't seen you guys.
This is so good. Just
Yeah, for sure. You know,
He's never gonna text me again.
boom.
Matt's never gonna invite me on again.
we're cooking now. And then Mick Brown Mark via the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999, aka Oilers photographer Andy Devlin, who chose the name Mick Brown Mark, says, "How about properly pronouncing Newfoundland? It is Newfoundland, not Newfoundland. Emphasis is on the first syllable, not middle syllable. Middle syllable, fund, like trust fund. Thank you, Andy.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland,
That's
not
what I would say.
Newfoundland.
It's funny when Americans say Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
They say like Saskatchewan. Wan. They always pronounce the Wan. Where it's Saskatchewan.
And they'll follow up with Canada. Because they always remember, no matter what it's Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, how many Torontos, Ontarios are there? I know where
Las Vegas,
Tulsa-
Nevada, United States of America.
See, like how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
It does.
You sound
it's
slow.
almost insulting.
I know Tulsa, Oklahoma, United States. No, it's just
We
Tulsa.
should just start doing it to them.
That's what I've been saying for years.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound condescending and little buddyish.
Yeah.
Oh, you know where this little country is?
Oh, you're from Las Vegas, Nevada, United States of America?
Perfect.
Beautiful.
See, Spency 5 Centy says something that I was going to get to. Is I think in order to make the draft kind of more of a wild card situation with other people that are now a part of this station, is to raise the relegation percentage to 15%, maybe even, 15% I think would be the number, and then you'd get more people coming through. And it would just be, I know there's been talks about a relegation draft.
well, I'm going to throw that out there. Your
I
so
don't like
the
that.
idea of having a draft of people that aren't part of the EST draft to win and be the number one contender to be knocked up when someone gets relegated.
Yeah.
And then if you get relegated to be the next contender to come back up, you got to go win the relegation draft.
So you're like League One or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the only time we do the relegation draft would be
Prior to
because you just have to have the number one contender.
An EST draft.
So there would be one happening, but it doesn't happen all the time because if there's an EST draft and no one gets relegated, well, no one's getting pumped up, but you still hold the number one contender, like the number
Well,
one.
then in that case, if we're going to go through the expense and time of having a relegation draft, then I would say the simple rule for the EST draft is the person that finishes last is down to relegation.
Oh, I'm just saying. I think you still put it at the 15%. But we
No,
have,
because
but we have
you
a number
wanna
one
have new
contender.
blood every time.
No, but we have a number. But if you raise it to 15, you'll be likely have someone knocked down.
True.
But you have a number one contender always sitting there. Who was the last victory? Who's got that number one title? And then all of a sudden, Reed's the guy that goes in. He takes it. Eric gets relegated. Well, Eric, to get back up, we now have to launch a promotion draft, and Eric's got to go win it to be the number one contender. That if there's ever relegation, Eric goes back in, or all of a sudden Trev wins, and boom, Trev's in the draft.
Now, would the drafts be the same topic?
No,
Couldn't be, right?
it can't be.
Maybe the relegation draft rehashes old topics.
So like favorite scary movies, and then like the NHL kind of draft, and then the AHL relegated. It'd be like
Basically.
favorite color of horsey.
That wouldn't last very
And
long.
then whoever loses that one gets to be the commissioner. It's whoever's like the dead last gets to be the commissioner for that
I just don't
draft.
see this lifting off because it's hard enough to do one draft to get everybody timed up for that.
But that's why that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
It's only if someone gets relegated, then do we have to do a new one to get the new number one contender.
Well, we'd need another commissioner.
Toby?
I don't want it. See, this is my plan
It's a
all along.
burden.
Not much for drafts. I like watching. I'm a fan of sports. I like watching people argue.
I'm sure we could find someone else to run it. Actually, it could be anyone from the top level.
Oh,
It could be. If
What
that
is
does
that?
things.
Elitist
I don't
thing.
think that would be
Okay,
good.
well,
Yeah, I like. Go ahead.
I like the idea of having someone promoted up to earn their right to get up, as opposed to being placed up there.
What about
earn your chance to be promoted into the EST draft, not just be dictated into it?
What about none other than, Corey B, who won the most coveted ST, right? Nasty of the wasn't he the
He won the beauty list. He was inducted into the
inducted
beauty list.
into the beauty list?
To be a commish.
Maybe, or who won Nasty of the Year?
It was Tube
Teef.
Socks.
Tube Socks.
Oh, Tube Socks. What did a Teef win?
He won most committed.
And he doesn't even. He's not even a Nasty member.
A Teef. Come on.
No, I this is old dudes. I don't know if he's now since joined.
He
You'd
has
have
not.
to. Okay, that is funny.
He has not.
That is so EST.
That is
Yes,
so
not.
nasty.
But
That
I-
is so a Teef.
I think earning your way to the top level would be the best.
Did you guys see the joke Atif told last night?
I saw him squinting and looking at the big board yesterday for a while on Eric's photo.
I didn't watch the draft. While you pull that up, I'm going to do the keyword.
Can I do this text
Oh,
that came in
sure.
before the keyword? It's from Barry Getman. Barry Getman says, irregardless of Toby's relationship with Iwanyk, I seen this before, especially when it comes to draft decisions.
We do round of clicks.
Round of clicks. Well played. Very well
For
played.
is it applause or something? We do round of clicks.
Matthew, the keyword, please.
EST Flyweights LA presented by the 780 homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. Work with close to 100 local vendors of them across the ETA or the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online, 780.com. That's the word 7. The number 80.com or any of their 5 locations, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport. We want to send you to LA December 26th through to the 30th. Flight, hotel, cars, tickets to go see Warriors and the Clippers at the Intuit Dome, Rams cards at SoFi Stadium, and Edmonton taking on either Anaheim or in LA, your local hockey club. The keyword to get set to text to 780-218-9999. It's not a keyword today as much as an acronym today. LAX. Text LAX to 780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw. Trev will give someone a call in the next 5 minutes or so, and you'll be qualified as we keep getting closer to November 28th, which will be the last day of qualifying. And then the 29th, we'll be giving this bad boy away on the morning show. You missed keywords?
Yeah, yes and no.
Because you guys were like, we get a lot of keywords. You guys used to get pommeled with the keywords.
It's true. So then Warren and I used to just try to tie it in with a Nicolas Cage reference every time, just to keep it interesting. You get bored when you do the same thing over and over. You try to find a way to make it fresh for yourself, selfishly, but maybe for other people too.
Do you want to hear Atif's joke?
LAX 780-218-9999.
Jay was waiting for that. Sorry.
I went to a park the other day. Yeah. I was watching this. Okay, now I'm good. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I was at the park the other day. Okay, it's called Port Edmonton Park. So I saw this frisbee. I started watching it. It started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it hit me.
That was garbage.
Oh, the delivery. If you haven't seen the full video, go to Lieutenant Eric's Twitter page, and this is must watch, because he starts out by starting with the joke and then he starts choking. And then he's like, and then he tries starting again, and he still hasn't been able to clear his throat. So he finally gets it together and delivers the joke, of which he starts laughing about it, and before he delivers the punchline.
Just as he's delivering.
It's just beautiful. Well done, Steve.
I forgot the joke it was that he gave me at the Nasty Bash, but it involved with him not, being able to walk. And it was just like, it was funny, but like he gets that. I love it, Teeth.
Oh, he's a
great.
wonderful man.
One of a kind.
He is. He's a one of a kind, but the most committed AM Nasty.
That's right.
And it was that award is for showing up to events.
That's right.
Not
Which he
for anything
does.
else. So he's more than a deserving winner of the ESTs. We had our own award show this year.
I did
We rented
see that.
out the Metro Cinema
saw
and we
it.
dressed up and
Very happy to see you guys not only overcome so much with that the station closing and stuff like that, but you guys rising up and taking kind of the proverbial bull by the horns and doing the same thing you're really doing, but now you're in control of it.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Nothing but success and well wishes and having award shows. So
I actually have to pay the last outstanding invoice today.
For what?
The cinema, the theater that we rented.
You didn't pay that already?
I got the invoice last week,
Oh.
and I was going to pay it yesterday, but she wasn't in the office, so I got to call her.
Why did they take so long to invoice you?
I don't know. And then when it came, it was also wrong. They overcharged us a little bit. So it's like, are you sure about this number here? And she's like, oh, yeah, that was a mistake. And they had to resend it. And then I
At
just
one point,
forgot
did
to
you
pay.
think that they were just going to forget to bill you entirely?
No, I figured because I don't see the receipt. I don't see where the credit card stuff goes. Like, I don't get to see the receipt, like the bill. I just figured maybe they charged us on the same credit card because we paid a deposit earlier.
Right.
I thought maybe then it just went through that way. So I was like, they'll get to me. They'll figure it out.
What
So
an
we're all
excellent
good.
evening.
That was a great night.
I do want to get back a little bit to the Oilers, but before I do that, Chris Morris announced or unveiled as president yesterday. We should quickly discuss that. Your guys' thoughts of what you heard from him.
Go ahead, Jay.
The word I would use that sums up that press conference was, I'm ready to run through a brick wall. That man fired people up, which that's no secret. That's who that guy is. I am very biased, and I will admit that. But I feel, because I've worked with Chris at the U of A, I've seen what he's done there. And as he mentioned in the press conference, what determines success at the university level is not maybe what you or I would think in terms of just straight wins and losses. He had a 95% completion rate, graduation rate, which for football players, that's a very, very strong high number. He contributed young men to this community that are going to go out and now be professionals and know that they have to give back. He's done a lot more there than one would think. So to have him now come to the Elks organization, where his focus now is winning, or that's it. That's it. Okay? And just understand this. When Chris was at the University of Alberta, it was him and two other coaches that were full-time running $1 million company. Literally. Now Chris has an office staff of 10. He doesn't have to worry about booking grade 8 and 9 kids camps all winter long. He's got a staff that, this staff's going to handle sales. This staff's going to handle marketing. This piece of the staff is going to handle football, related things. He now is unleashed. He has nothing else to worry about than building the team under him the best he can. And I feel like he is the 100% the right hire. And I will say it on record that he will have this team ready for when the Grey Cup is here in 2026. If they're not in that game, this would be, in his eyes, a failure. A failed first 2 years. That's how, passionate and focused he is. Now, ultimately, it comes down to, okay, the next step is the very highly regarded position of who's your general manager, because that's going to put its stamp on this team as well. So that he did say will be coming by November 24th. So to be determined.
Well said.
As you were saying that, I just realized, I wonder what it's going to be like for him to not coach.
He'll be fine with that.
You think?
Yeah.
To not be in the like of that football part of it, to be able to work on the actual game. He spent how many years has he been in a locker room, whether coaching or playing?
Oh, his whole life.
Well, right, like it's been that.
15 seasons as player, 12 as coach. It's 27 right there.
Well, and then the high school, he would have been
College, high
coaching
school.
in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he was coaching at Harry Ainley.
You're in the locker room day in and day.
He'll still be in the locker room. This will be a
Right,
very different
But he's not
president than
coming in
most.
and coaching. He's not coming in through walkthroughs and on the field with the players. And I wonder what that transition is going to be like. How that's going to be for him. Because it's so different.
His intensity reminds me of Kevin Lowe. Now, I'm not comparing. I'm not saying he's going to go challenge someone to a fight in a barn over a restricted free agent or anything like that. But he might. I'm just kidding.
I would not want to fight Chris Morrison.
No, he's a huge human being. Also
Once again,
very intelligent. What I liked about this, and someone brought this up, I think it was on the Nasty Chat or maybe the text line yesterday. I can't remember who it was, one of our listeners. And they said, weren't a lot of the same things said about Victor Cui? Remember at the old shop, we were very excited about Victor Cui, Edmonton guy, North Side, what up? Coming back after running a successful business in Asia. And this guy's going to take it to the top. Well, we found out that it wasn't as, it was very promising, but I don't know, smoke
Empty
and mirrors.
calories.
Empty calories, hollow to a certain extent, a lot of ideas and the poor execution of them. And it didn't work, right? And then there was some other stuff that led to the dysfunction. And it was understandable to point out that the excitement with Cui was palpable. And yes, we did say a lot of the same things, but
He's a promoter.
yes.
That's his job.
And I'm glad we're talking about the differences
Yeah,
here.
because he did a great job promoting the team.
Right.
And saying this is the best product on and it wasn't.
No.
The traveling salesman lost his shtick and had to leave town. Now, Chris is different because, and we talked about this yesterday, the last presidents that have come out in here have been more on the business side. Mm-hmm. I mean, Preston, we just never knew about. But
And he didn't really get a fair shake.
he didn't get a fair
Total
shake.
outsider.
That was
Yeah.
just
But
the
also,
way it went.
you could argue, shouldn't have went that far to that job, but
Fair point.
But Chris is coming in that's somebody with a very broad football mind.
since Hugh
And-
Campbell of 06.
Yeah, since Hugh Campbell, and how'd that go? Right? I mean, Hugh Campbell had some good years
Because
here.
Rick Lawlisher, while he's now considered a football guy, was a hockey guy.
Good point.
And stuff. And he was around the Elks organization as COO and stuff, but he was never a guy in a football locker room.
Yeah. But Chris also has the administrative side that you as a son of a former principal would understand is a lot. There's a lot going on there. And I know it's different. It's not necessarily apples to oranges, but it might be a different variety of apple to apple, right? But he's got such a football acumen and he's got such a desire and knows what it takes because he was a part of it, that culture that won.
Yes.
And he's going to bring that back. He wants to know the receptionist's name for the next 13 years because he or she is here for that long. They can't have, pieces coming in and out and in and out. They need stability from the top. And I don't know who said it in the Nasty Chat, but that's a great point. Good leaders lead, better leaders delegate, right? And that's what he's going to do here. And it starts with finding the right GM. I've got my beliefs as to who that is, but to be determined.
I like what he was saying about getting back to the proper culture, emphasis on culture, and doing it with sincerity and authenticity. And I think that'll go a long way because he said that there's a lot of, what do you call it? Transient, kind of a transient feeling around
Said
the
it was a
organization.
revolving door.
And a revolving door, and he
know.
wants that to stop. He wants to make it a destination instead of just a pit stop. So I respect that very much, and I feel like
Oh,
he's the type
Norm.
guy. Norm.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Norman Acompan has brought us
Hi,
Italian
Sticky
sandwiches.
Rice.
Oh, nice.
wait,
While you guys are here, I'm going to quickly just qualify someone for the EST Flyweight to Los Angeles, presented by the 780. Trev, who do we have? Cole, congratulations. You are now in the mix for the EST Flyway to LA. Have you ever been to LA before?
I have.
Have you? Is this Cole in Ellerslie?
No, this
they
is
do
not
that.
Dustin Cole.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I heard a little bit of a similar voice there, but that's all good. If you won this trip, who would you take with you?
My son.
Your son?
Yeah.
Perfect. And if you guys won, what would you be most excited to go see? Is it the NBA? Is it the NFL? Or is it some hockey?
NFL for me, NHL for him.
Perfect. Well, congratulations. Keep your phone on November 29th because you will be in the draw. And if your name's chosen, you got to answer your phone. But the boys will give you a call, let you know that you're off to Los Angeles. Congratulations. Best of luck, Cole.
Thank you.
2 more chances to qualify today. EST Flyway to LA, EST Afternoons, as well as the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. And then a chance to qualify tomorrow on Hello Hockey with Tommy and Sean Bell.
The Combine crew's here. Sticky Rice is in.
Good,
Hello, Trace.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Sorry, I'm
This
Toby.
is Toby.
Hi, Toby. I'm Tracy. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you, Tracy.
I'm Sticky Rice. I'm the top of the Combine crew.
Okay. Well, nice
yeah.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Toby, and it's the name my parents gave me because they don't like me.
I don't
Just kidding.
think
I'm just
that's
kidding.
correct.
It's a nickname. It's okay.
My real name's Tracy,
Okay.
and that's the name my parents gave me.
Right.
This is beautiful. Trace, you guys brought in something from the Italian Center.
We did.
What's
We brought
going
you
on?
guys donuts this morning. I thought, you know what? We enjoy you guys so much, and you have become part of our family. So
It's beautiful.
we brought you donuts this morning.
Thank you, Trace.
Well, thank
That
you.
was great.
It's very
You're
kind of you guys.
welcome.
Great
You're
spot.
welcome.
The Italian Center. Can't go wrong.
Absolutely. And we didn't know what else we could bring, and I didn't feel like baking this morning, so enjoy.
We will.
Yeah, it is pretty early to bake.
Yeah. It's too bad Zach's not here because he'd eat half of those.
Oh yeah, Zach's not even going to be here.
He's at UFC today.
That's are you still into UFC MMA?
Not as much as I used
No?
to be. No, I it became a job, so then I just the petulant teenager in me just decided to not follow it anymore.
Okay.
So I used to actually have a show on a station in Winnipeg where once a week we would actually talk about UFC for 2 hours and or MMA in general. But yeah, now I've fallen off completely.
Not going this weekend then.
Nothing moves the needle for me.
There's too many.
It's too
There's too many events.
When the Reebok deal happened, the UFC had more fighters on a roster than the NBA had players.
What?
Over 400.
That's ridiculous.
That may have changed since then, but that was a few years ago. When that Reebok deal happened, they had more fighters on roster than the NBA had players. Not G League, but like
Right.
actual NBA players.
Jeez.
So I was like, that's too much. There's too many. It's too diluted. I can't do it anymore. I don't care enough about one person. Ever since, GSP and then Conor McGregor was, they're peaking and everything like that. After that, I was just like,
Diluted.
I have to do it, so I don't want to do it anymore. But awesome fight night coming.
Is it?
I don't know.
I honestly, I don't know how good of a fight night this is.
I'm
in the
rooting
of the
for
fight nights.
Rose the Thug Namajunas. Remember we had her here on the Hangout? She was great.
I like Rose.
Yeah, she's a beekeeper.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
She had her stint on the Ultimate Fighter when she.
Was she the one that was here this week?
Oh, that
Or a
was
couple weeks.
Yeah, she was here about a month ago or so on the Hangout.
yeah. That was Alicia the
Oh, the boxer. I
Yeah.
don't remember. With Reed Show. Yeah, I don't know who the boxer was.
My middle son, Bryce, went to school with her.
Oh, no way.
Kubicki.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what it was.
They went to school together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get
Yeah.
into the ring.
Yeah.
She's gonna get into the ring.
No.
No.
I would never think like I'd be terrified.
A lot of people think they can, and then go take like a jujitsu class. There's just one, and then just feel how helpless you are when you're a white belt, but just like a blue belt, a brand new blue belt, and just feel how helpless you are. And like, oh no, it doesn't matter how mad you get, you can't will yourself out of technique. People just need to realize, my mentality. I just go blank. And bodies start dropping. That's not going to happen if you actually go against someone with any sort of training. It's just not it's not a thing. So I commend you, and I too would never get in the ring. It hurts. You seen leg kicks?
Oh, that's the reason I can't actually watch MMA. It just I don't get like too often. But watching a leg kick, it's one I get very squirmish.
You ever,
Squeamish.
Squeamish, thank you.
Yeah, this is an English
like
class,
it's-
quasi-English
I
class
get
today,
like
Trace.
it's the like I just went through a month watching the Saw movies and I was fine. I watched them all. It was great. But a good leg kick,
no.
I can't.
You stub your shin on a coffee table. I do that. I got to take a knee for 5 minutes. Like that's it. I am
Yeah.
incapacitated. They just walk through it. It's like you're a different kind of human being. Nope.
Trace, you MMA
Yeah.
at all?
No, not really.
What's the combine crew up to this weekend?
Not too much. Taking it easy, actually. Norm and Brody are heading to Grand Prairie today. Bryce and I are hanging out tonight. Just mother-son evening, and Garen is working this weekend, so not too much.
Mani Petties for you and Brody.
I only wish.
She's got her nails done pretty well right now.
I
Orange
only.
and Halloween.
Okay, tell me what you guys think of pedicures.
I've never had one.
I have tried for my boys to come with me for pedicures forever. Never, no such luck.
That's the
They
foot.
are not into going for pedicures with me.
The tickles probably. They're ticklish. They just don't want to admit
They
it.
may be ticklish, but they're so darn relaxing, and the massage is unbelievable.
I've done it once. It was lovely.
See?
But
We're
I
going
had
to
very
have to go
soft
for...
feet or something.
We're
And I
gonna
felt
have to go for
afterwards my
pedicures.
feet were starting to get a little drier. And I was like, I go into that conspiracy thing that they probably dry your feet a little bit, so you have to go back for more pedicures. So now I'm scared to
like
go for more
chapstick.
pedicures.
Or you
Absolutely.
just have to put more lotion on.
It's true.
But my feet were very soft. They don't need that. Like
like
when they
head
were
and shoulders.
dealing with it, they were saying like, "Oh, these are actually really soft." Like they were fine.
Yeah.
And then after the pedicure, it felt like, "Oh, maybe they're getting a little dry."
Yeah.
What's changed? I got a pedicure.
Yeah.
What did they do to my feet? They saw these soft feet and they went, "We need to ruin that so this guy comes for more pedicures." But I went to my mom and it was a very lovely experience.
See? Does your mom go for pedicures?
I'm sure she does. I'm pretty sure
I
she
can
does.
see her going
I
for
think
pedicures.
Eric
yeah.
loves. He goes for pedicures.
And him and Jay, as a celebration, if they're ruled winners of the last draft, will be going for celebratory Mani Petties, apparently.
I've never done the manicure.
I've done that. I've had that because my buddy's fiance at the time, now wife, she was in school for that.
Oh,
It was very, I got the hand and arm massage
Massage,
too.
yeah.
It was very nice. And everything was nice. Nice,
Yeah.
soft, coddled hands.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great.
I couldn't do it. I don't know.
Toby, it was
Maybe the hands,
really
but the
nice.
feet,
And they
I'm-
massage your hand.
I don't know. I don't see any need for hands. It's more. I would think if you're a guy, get your feet.
I don't know about the feet. I just picture Dumb and Dumber when they had the grinder on his toenails. I'm also too ticklish.
I'm very ticklish.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm just very ticklish.
Me too.
On the feet.
Yeah.
I'm ticklish on the feet, but I didn't feel it. Like they don't.
They
They
know how to
do it.
grab
They just like rubbing things and
Brody, go with Tracy
massaging
for a
it,
mani
and it's
pedi.
not ticklish.
Rubbing is just slow tickling.
I got you.
That's
I
what.
don't know.
It's just a different way to. I don't know. It seems too intimate for me. I feel like
Well-
I have to know more about you if you're going to rub my feet. I don't know. I just have
What's
that.
your name? What's your life story?
Like, yeah. What's your sign? You want to go after get a drink or a coffee? I'm a romantic, Sticky Rice. I don't know about you, but
Well, totally am.
okay. See,
But I can totally get anyone to do my feet.
see, okay.
It is so relaxing and so enjoyable.
So you're not that picky.
No,
with the
I
foot stuff.
totally
Okay.
need one. Mine are almost.
Oh my goodness.
I had them done for the nasty bash
Oh, nasty.
for
Okay.
our. Help me, guys.
What, the Estes?
Estes.
Oh.
And they need to be redone.
Well, let's go,
Yeah.
Brody.
Yeah.
It's a mom night.
Come on.
Tommy's being demanding. Listen to Tommy.
Yeah.
when
My
it comes
mom's
to all
out of
that.
town for the next month and a half. I can't
Okay,
do it.
Tommy, let's go.
Tommy's got to work tonight. Or no, Tommy's got hockey tonight. That's
Well,
right.
they would go really good in your skates before you go to hockey.
I believe that. But that's son's duty.
Oh, okay.
Do you line lotion in your skate before you get in there? You get out, just okay, guys.
Oh my
No feet shower for
feels
me.
So good, yeah.
These little dippers
nothing's
in my
touching my
slippers.
little toesies.
Yeah.
do got to mention the official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the Finnish long drink, legend of 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment. Real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada is where you can go enter in your postal code and find which liquor stores near you will have it. It is a delicious drink. I know you guys had some, or Norm at least posted a couple weekends ago or something.
I saw it on our counter.
You didn't try one?
I did not try one yet.
Crack into that. Give that a try this weekend.
I
You'll
will.
love it.
Okay, that's a date.
There we go.
Big Uke says, grow up Bryce and go with your mom.
I thought it was Brody.
No, Bryce.
Oh, Bryce, my bad.
Well, they're all,
Brody, you're
any
off
of
the
them
hook.
could go.
They could, but the only ones that are in town will be Bryce and Garen, and there's no way in heck Garen would come for a pedicure with me, as he is working this weekend. So,
Well, let's go, Bryce. Go with mom.
come on, Uke, we can go for a pedicure.
I did Oilers. I'll start Toby because we were talking about the game earlier. But were you one of those people a little panicking at the start of their season?
No. Not. I mean, I was disappointed. Like last year, I wasn't panicking. I was like, just one game at
Tracy.
a time.
Bye. Thank you guys. Have a great day and a
Thank
great
you for the
weekend.
donuts.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you, Tracy.
Very nice to meet you, Toby.
Sticky rice with the poppin'. I love it. Very good. Very good. Bye, Trace.
Thank you. And not so much just disappointed. It's like there's so much more to this team. And I mean, on paper, everyone says on paper, getting Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson, even though Arvidsson hasn't played a whole season and in just like entire career, I was really excited for. I was concerned with, I know everyone crap talked Cody Ceci. That guy played a lot of minutes, and more often than not, he played pretty good minutes. So losing him, losing Desharnais, big old Vinny, and I mean, yeah, that's big for the penalty kill and stuff like that. I just thought the defense, which no one was saying, oh, they're fine at defense. I'm not concerned. It's just I just see this forward group and see them on paper and go, like, why do you guys need to have a motivational speak to like get going? Maybe it's a systems thing. I don't know, but like, why does it take Connor McDavid for? Well, now maybe Leon Draisaitl will just step up. He's one of the best players in the world. He doesn't need he's a professional athlete. He doesn't need like a pat on the back to try harder, especially with the contract he just signed. Not worried. It'll click. The goals will come. Jeff Skinner will get rolling. Arvidsson got his first goal last night. I think it's going to start the snowball effect, but there's going to be ups and downs like anytime. Like they won 16 games in a row. They started 2-9-1 last year. It's going to happen. It's a long season.
Yeah, it's wild that they just always need that little spark. And
Consistently.
they can't start it themselves. Somebody else has to come and spark it for them.
Well, you need to fight. Every time they fight, they win.
Yeah.
Someone, Corey Perry, I mean, he's got a couple. I mean, Nurse got in one. Podkolzin last night. I think they're going to probably win that one anyway. Just saying. It's just, I don't know. It's so weird to watch, but fun. It's still a fun team, but
It's it'll be this team will be what they do at the deadline to improve this team and to get ready for the playoffs. You okay?
Yeah, his chair squeaks against the
That's
back
why I
wall.
move it up.
I always feel like the chairs move very easily
They
all
do move
around.
very easily.
They're Uncle Wiener chairs.
You can tell.
You know where we didn't get them from? Avon's.
Yeah, it forced us to shut down.
These 4 chairs forced you
Yeah,
to shut
could have
down.
used that sale.
Jay used to his family business was a furniture store.
right next to the battery doctor.
A couple
yes.
locations.
Okay.
There was a south side location. Most recent years was St. Albert Trail, just actually right by Pro Am Sports. Friends of the show. Nice. But yeah, we ran that for 30 years. My parents started it. My brother and I ran it for the last 12 years. And I'm 42 and I'd never done anything else in my life. This was not even a part of this wasn't even created when we started the process of shutting everything down. My goal was just to find something different, do something different. And this came up.
Now you're broadcasting.
Now I'm on a 3 to 6 show with Reed Wilkins.
Well, see, that's serendipitous.
How does that even happen?
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the dream job. I've said that. Like people ask, so how is it going? What's it like? Like, well, it's like a dream. So, but don't pinch me, please. Okay.
I would
Sensitive?
never.
We'll go for the slap. The morning slap.
Yeah, normally broadcasting, the rude awakening is not a pinch; it's a slap.
Yeah.
It's a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, and hopefully EST is around for years and years and years, and we keep growing. I think, I don't know. It's neat to see this. I wasn't here full time as long as you guys have been, but the growth of it has been pretty fun. And then you have yesterday or this week was really interesting for me, and I know Joaquin said that as non-media guys traditionally, to be a part of something that's kind of breaking and coming together and unfolding right before you. Very, very neat.
We had a newsroom day on Wednesday, basically.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chris Morris news of becoming the next
Jew
president.
broke.
Yeah, it was, but I will say this. And Reed mentioned it, but I was very proud of the way that, Maddie and Dustin and Tommy and like the professionals in the room handled that like professionals, not just wanting to be the first to get it out there, because let's not kid ourselves. That's important in this industry. Mm-hmm. That's huge, especially in sports, breaking sports. If you can break that, that gives you a layer of credibility, legitimacy. So yeah, you could just go blurt it from the mountaintops, but everyone here was on the same page of wanting to do it properly without, we wanted to know that, Chris had addressed his team. Chris had addressed his coaches so that some new recruit isn't finding out about losing his head coach on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And it went flawlessly. It was very well done, but I was very proud to say I'm a part of this because of the way that was handled. It really, I know it meant a lot to Chris, and I know it meant a lot to the Elks as well from an organizational level. So it's cool. It's very neat.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
When I was leaving Commonwealth yesterday, Hernan and I were walking away, and then Hernan got stopped by Aaron Grimes to talk because Hernan was like a celeb in that
He
building
is a
yesterday.
celeb. He's
He
a
was
Latino
walking
elite.
around, and it was like when we first got there, I was setting up for two guys. I then do two guys. Me and Gage were doing two. I don't even know where Hernan went.
He
for
was
the entire
gone.
hour. He was just gone, talking to people. I mean, big guy comes back to town. But it was him and Grimes were talking, and I saw Chris Morris walking down the hall, and then he had to walk back to his office. And as I saw him, like stature-wise and all that, I'm like, he looks like Dusty. Like as he was walking back to his office, I just saw his back. So I'm like, that's Dusty. That could be Dusty right there. A lot of similarities
Oh, very much
in
so.
many different ways. There's a lot of
They
similarities.
kind of just
there.
like
a little bit of the clothing,
Yeah.
same style. Like before Dusty got, forced into some higher up clothing, where he was taken shopping multiple times to get his clothing up there. But it was like similar style and all that. Like I've seen there's
Oh yeah, there's similarities.
Dusty and Chris.
That would be a bear fight.
Oh my
Those
god.
two slapping each other. Just imagine it. Yeah.
Rory.
I wouldn't want to get in a drinking contest with either of those two.
I don't know that Chris even drinks.
But if he did, like
If he did, he would crush you.
The two of them would be like sewer me so bad.
Yes.
Dusty goes and drinks his triples.
Yep.
But why?
Either to catch up
Oh,
is one. We've had that. I remember one of our unsanctioned, he came and
Yeah.
went and played catch up. And he didn't, because you guys were at hockey that day. There was some hockey.
There was a World Junior game.
Was it?
Oh no, you're talking about we were at the
There was some event.
Dirty Birds charity Stollery charity
So
tournament.
you guys came to the unsanctioned Christmas party.
That's right.
And he had eaten nothing.
Yeah.
And he didn't eat anything at the topper. And all he did was start crushing triples.
Yeah.
didn't he end up going at two-step? He wanted to go two-stepping that night.
He
or
loves
something?
it, yeah, Cook County.
Yeah,
and I don't know
okay.
if that was the night he took
don't
him
know.
and got
There
people
was
to go there, or if
couple.
that was the night because one Christmas party he went by himself just to go dancing.
Yeah, I remember standing next to him at the bar, and I felt like a toddler standing next to his like older brother or uncle or something. Just like, how are you that size of a human being? I don't get it. It's I mean, it's just envy because I'm only 5'10". So it's like, how are you 6 foot? Go to hell. It's amazing. We're the same species, huh? Human beings, are we?
He's a bear.
I got to see if the topper's open.
The hilltop?
Yeah.
It had a fire a couple of years ago.
Well,
didn't
then
it?
they reopened.
Okay.
And Rima, Yuke, and I went because we were like, what kind of renovations are they going to do? There was nothing.
It's the same?
They replaced the floor.
Oh,
They changed their menu, it made it worse, but everything else was the same. They had like a flood too or something. And so like, because the fire was in the kitchen, but everything else, we were like, this is the exact same. The chairs didn't change. The booth didn't change. They didn't change anything. They didn't take that opportunity to be like, hey, maybe we should refresh here. And then they had another issue. So they had another fire or something. And now in June 17th, they had, let's put these rumors to rest. We will be reopened. We do have insurance. We're waiting on the city. We will update. That was June 17th, and they have not updated. So I'm waiting to see when they're back on. 8 weeks ago, somebody said, any news on the opening date? And they went, not right now. Damn it.
that's a while ago.
That
But
was,
that's part of the lore of that place.
Yes.
Is the scuzziness of it.
but I want to go back. No, absolutely, 100%. But they need to reopen.
That's
we
like
can go
there are several bars around that have that, that smell when you walk in there.
This,
Like piss?
Yeah.
this
No.
place was piss.
Not. It was like an ode to piss. It
Yeah.
was like diet. It was still like you're fine. You're not like
Yes.
wincing. It was.
It
no,
wasn't
nice.
Cowboys on a Thursday night.
Cannot confirm.
That one, that was disgusting.
Like Toronto downtown.
You walked in, like there was that hint there. And every so you knew when they tried cleaning with bleach because you'd walk in like there's the bleach smell today. They tried fixing that.
They went after it.
It was a unique spot. And I want to go back there with another unsanctioned.
We don't even have to call it unsanctioned.
I'd
We
have to
did
be.
that to make sure that it was disconnected from our old corporate business overlords, right?
Well, no, it's because we weren't allowed a Christmas party anymore.
Right, exactly.
So we went and did our own Christmas party.
Yes.
But I don't
We
know.
had to
The
call it
unsanctioned was fun.
unsanctioned.
I would love to bring back the unsanctioned.
Are we gonna have a Christmas party here?
You got
Yeah.
to talk to Dusty.
We had one last year.
You're the chief operating officer.
Sure. You got to talk to Dusty.
This is an operational thing.
I got to go to the boss on that one.
Last
I'm
year-
planning a different party.
I know you are.
We're having a party?
Thanks for reading my emails.
Yeah.
I do read them.
No, you
It
didn't.
was in the email,
It was
was
in
it
the
not?
email. Yeah.
Probably
It's
hit
in
it.
one of those emails. It's in there.
You probably hit it somewhere.
It's the
Like in
engineer's
middle.
Christmas party.
It's in there.
Don't, yeah. That's. Were you ever a part of an engineer's Christmas party?
No.
You weren't there for Bell? Okay, then you were the TV.
I don't wanna
show.
see
He
anything
sends
out of
like
line, though.
400 emails a week.
No, he
I
doesn't.
sent like two of the last like couple of weeks. I sent 2 long emails that are broken up where the
yeah.
topic is bolded,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
write my notes in it,
I think they're great.
Engineers Christmas
as
party. It's
opposed
not
to
the same.
sending multiple emails out. I'm
I
now
like
going to
them.
I
load
have
them
it
into
right
one email.
I read them specifically because at one point in the future, he will offer a free lunch to the first person that responds. I know he will.
That's his gimmick.
So, but he won't. He's not done it. It might take years. But I'm in it for the long haul.
I thought you might be in it just so I can't be like it's in the email
Yeah,
because I pull that out a lot to people,
I just
You've
I
done it to
don't
me
want
like 5 times.
and
this
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm going to be that guy that's not that. It's in the email. I put it in there.
It's fine.
That's the passive aggressive. Like, did you read my email? It's
Thank you,
just answer
Toby.
the question. Because if I saw it, I would remember. Just don't answer a question with a question. Number 2, just answer the question, please and thank you.
Or read my emails. Why did I send this email?
Well, you wanted to send the email. It doesn't matter. Did you want to read the email?
Not
Tom?
really,
When
but
you
I
just
did
talked
read it. I perused it.
So, I'm just down the hallway from the guy who sent the email. Why not straight from the horse's mouth?
Because he wouldn't have had to ask this question right now, and I wouldn't have had to call him out if he had read the email.
First of all, the engineers Christmas party is essentially a drop-in potluck. That is not a party.
That's a drop in potluck. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it depends how you view a party.
I want us
I'm
to go
saying
out as a unit.
You got to
and get
talk to Dusty.
messed up.
If are you guys like? Does it need to come from the company, or are we okay to pay our own stuff?
I would just say we'd pay our own way.
Because the money stuff I can't make that decision on. But I
Well,
can absolutely plan.
See you, Combines.
Safe travels.
I can absolutely plan for a Christmas party. I just need to. Financially, I can't make that call. I
Last
don't make
year-
call on money.
Our first informal Christmas party as EST was at Hudson's Bourbon Street. We had a great time with Jay Borley.
Yeah, I'm sure they would pitch in.
And what ended up happening was Trev got messed up, was dancing on the dance floor for a while by himself, then with someone in a wheelchair, lost his keys,
Sweet.
and then was here for Hello Hockey the next day and scrambled and managed to battle through. Went back to Hudson's Bourbon Street the next day. I think Steve and Adam took care of him, the fine folks, managers of Hudson's Bourbon Street, and the rest was history.
It was a long shift that day for a few of us, the three of us and Dusty, because we went first for that meeting
Yeah,
to start at 1.
with Borley.
And then
See, I
outside
didn't
of
know it
you-
was a Christmas party
Well, we
because I wasn't.
Turned it into
we
one.
transitioned into one, and
Yeah.
you were there for part of that. Then you
Yeah.
had to leave, and then it was the rest of us. I think we shut down at 11.
But if it's
We
a
got there at
formal
1.
Christmas
It was like
party,
1 till 11 in the same booth. That was the most time I've spent in West Edmonton Mall without walking really into West Edmonton Mall. Like it was coming to the door, turn left into Hudson's,
hard left.
leave Hudson's the exact same way. We were there for 10 hours.
Yep.
We tried a lot of the, what's their shooter drink?
yeah.
They are the
Yeah, it's like a
ski
no.
lifts.
ski lifts.
Ski lifts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
We had a few of those.
Yeah.
We had a few of those. We had actually more than a few of those. We tried every one.
Well, you guys got into it after I left. Like when I got there, it was have a couple beers during our meeting, and then
Well, yeah,
I
but you had to
left.
pay. I was at least pacing myself from there because I
Yeah,
knew it
me
was
too.
going to be a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
So
didn't know it was
then-
going to be
no,
that long.
I
We
take
got
it-
to Power Hour. I was very excited to get
Yeah.
into Power Hour.
Then I
gone
take
now.
it back. I think this should be covered by the company.
You're working.
Okay, well then to plan that I gotta get I gotta get approval. Actually, I do have that fund I could pay some of it from. Let me work on it. I'm busy today.
But you
though.
got to set a date soon.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
put it in
November.
next week.
Put it in an email.
Next week.
Yeah. Which none
Well,
of
that's
us
how
will
it'll go.
read.
It will go in an
He
email.
will. He will.
And if you don't read my email, that's not you're not invited to the Christmas. Well, and
And
it's
if
not you're
you're
not
not-
invited. It's just
Yeah.
you won't know about it. You won't show up.
You should do that. You should have everyone.
You'll forget about it. And you won't even be able to either. Read the email.
Come to a pub or something, and then you should show up and be like, you know what? I said everything I need to say in the email. If you guys read the email, you wouldn't even need to be here.
And I
Toby,
want a.
No, it's like you haven't left. Nothing's changed. Just like that.
I also want to have a Secret Santa here.
Again, I'm not doing a secret
I
Santa.
hate Secret Santa.
Yeah, I don't do those things. You could plan that. You can organize, see who you want to get in. I'm not doing secret Santa.
You're not. You would abstain from being involved.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take a number.
No.
Oh,
It's
you're
a
such
burden.
jerk. You guys are both Grinches. Grow up.
I have a thing with family where we don't do gifts. Only kids. Gifts are the only kids are the only ones that get gifts.
Well,
in my life.
perfect. You're acting like one right now.
I gotta get to Road Warriors. Get
to Road Warriors.
Ackies
Let's
to Heavy
go.
Haul Trailers. Custom manufacturing heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas, equipment, highway transportation. Trusted by leaders in the heavy transport industry. Great on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. Tonight, what do we got going on tonight? There is some hockey. There's a Global Series game at noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas and
Florida?
Florida.
Yep.
Oh, in Finland. No way. That's really top of mind. That's coming up at noon. As for the Oilers, they're back. They're on the road in Calgary on Sunday, which means GCLD's Oil Stream pregame show will have you covered with Tommy and Hernan. Tomorrow we got CFL playoffs as the BC Lions are the road team taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Dusty on the call for that one. He's probably going to be healthy for that one. And then I'm excited to actually hear his call. Like when we were talking to him on the phone on Wednesday, I was like, I miss the guy.
Yeah.
And then what's the earlier game? It's Ottawa taking on Toronto. So we got CFL playoffs tomorrow. I think just the East game is on CTV.
Yeah.
Both should be on CTV.
No, neither should be on CTV.
Both should be on CTV and TSN.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go. Sure.
I'm assuming, I think the playoffs are on TSN too. So the only one game's on CTV though, which obviously it's got to be the East game because we got to placate to the East. East. Screw the East.
We placate to stupid as well.
It's
as we
the
went
same
over.
as if Ottawa goes away, okay, we balance the leagues. It's 4-4. Winnipeg's in the East. Everyone else, and we got 4 in the West. But then Ottawa comes in and Winnipeg has to be in the West because the West have to have more teams.
Who do you think has a better chance
That was Road Warriors. I still thought
of winning on the road, BC or Ottawa?
BC.
Really?
Because I don't believe in Ottawa at all.
Yeah.
BC is a good football team still. That's why. Nothing against, not a shot at the Riders. It's a shot at the Red Blacks.
Yeah. And BC has the burden of trying to get to the Grey Cup, which it's hosting this year. And, you talk about Chris Morris wanting the Elks to be in the Grey Cup in 26. Amar Doman, same thing. That's why he went and got Nathan Rourke. Still has big play VA.
Starting Vernon Adams.
Yeah, they should. I mean, he's been the better quarterback, right?
He has. I don't know why they took him out. I thought that was a mistake. Paid Nathan Rourke all this money. Now you're not releasing him. You're going to release Vernon Adams. What if Vernon Adams takes you to the Grey Cup?
Got to release him. Got to move on.
Yeah. Didn't that happen with Damon Allen? Like multiple times, he would he was basically a mercenary for teams for the entire 90s, right?
Until he settled with Toronto. I
Yeah,
think.
and BC a bit. And then,
Oh, yeah, true.
But that's
Damon
that's
Allen
true.
was so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish there was quarterbacks like that now.
I got a Trey Ford CFL card today, thanks to Will Fraser.
Well, I mean, that was an interesting, and I appreciated what you said, Maddie, yesterday, was that it was nice that nobody brought that up because it's not Chris's job to make that decision. Whoever he hires as GM is going to have to ultimately cross that bridge. Everybody's worried about Trey Ford leaving. There's not enough of a body of work to say that he's desired by other teams. He's exciting and electric when he's playing well. But we've seen the other side, and I'm not
I've seen the
blaming
well
Trey
way
here.
more than the not so well.
He's very tempting.
He is
I
tempting,
think
and
he's
I
gonna
think
have a great
the
career.
organization did flub up by not offering him the game after his stinker
Yeah.
against Winnipeg, not offering him the rematch. They screwed that up. And these are the kind of things. These are the kind of screw ups and inconsistencies that will not happen under a Chris Morris led team.
Before I wrap up here, has the commish made any sort of ruling?
Nothing.
No, she's ghosting us.
Crickets.
So we go into the weekend not having an actual ruling from the commission.
And I
I'm
still
just gonna
remain
throw that out there.
champion. It's so
I
good.
think I have it right. Toby, it was great seeing you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having
We
me.
appreciate this.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. The bigger
Round of clicks for Toby.
Thanks,
Great to
guys.
see
I'll
Toby.
do that for you guys because I'm excited that you guys got this rolling and it's only growing. You got Hernan, the Latino,
Latino Heat.
He's
Si,
back.
senor.
Haven't seen him in a long time. Good to see you. And Reed Wilkins is doing a show here. So onward and upwards, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hopefully we can have you on again at some
Yeah.
point. It'd be great.
I have time now.
And you have to meet our backup goalie, Joaquin.
I would love to meet Joaquin.
He's here.
Why don't you offer him a donut?
Oh, great idea. I'll bring
Please
those.
have one.
He'll offer them.
Yeah, on like
Or
You
combine
offer
crew.
Joaquin.
act like you brought those.
Yes.
to Joaquin. Just
hey,
for Joaquin.
big fan.
Yeah, you could see if he watches or not.
Yeah.
Coming up next year on Edmonton Sports Talk, it is the Log Shop. I don't know if all three are on. Huss, Pat, and Jake. I think Pat and Huss for sure. At noon, Oil Stream, Tommy Hernan. EST Afternoons, Hernan and Gager, as well as the Reed Wilkins Show at 3 o'clock with Jay Milne. I will be with the Afternoon Boys producing as well, so you guys are stuck with me. You're stuck with
That's
me a little bit
right. Oh
longer,
my
so-
gosh, I'm looking forward to this.
Zach's
This will
on
be fun
UFC
to,
duty.
Such a liar.
to prod you.
Such a liar.
Well, we have Trent Brown coming on, and he's going to be fired up, to say the least, as he was yesterday at the press conference.
On behalf of Tommy, Jay, Toby, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Like I said, Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend.
There you go. Right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,